storm is brewing off the coast of the continent and is continuing to grow in intensity. We will keep you posted on its status and when it's expected to make landfall.
He's dead.
Close.
For us, and we're kind of watching the pioneers here of the Pro League.
You love to see like an esport starting to blossom like this. Teams starting to find their footing, the meta developing. Syndicate manages to hold him, and by God, it looked like it was going to fall apart from there for a second.
Two players are on such low health and knocked down from the fall there outside of the play zone. Axino, he might finish it off for Invalidos. Can he get the booyah for his team? No!
Oh.
It's La Bahia who take their second booyah!
And he is just raining down on them. Nathan, what is even
Team
happening
Butcher,
right
that
now?
was
One member up, and he's going to go down. Wacko does it! Survives in a situation that I thought was just doomed.
Hi survivors, welcome to the Free Fire Pro Series for North America. Participants will get the chance to showcase their skills and compete for their share of the $50,000 prize pool. This inaugural season will take place across 3 months in 4 unique phases: the Open Qualifier, the Group Stage, the Last Chance Qualifier, and the Finals. Teams will accumulate points throughout each of these stages, resetting for everyone at the start of each new phase. We will kick things off in the Open Qualifier. Teams from across the entire North American region will be split into lobbies of 12 teams, where survivors will battle it out for 6 games to earn their place in the next round. Teams will be awarded points for their in-game performance, including points for their final placement in the lobby, as well as their kills throughout the games. At the end of these games, the top teams from each lobby will move on to the round of 96. This round will feature new lobbies and 6 more games for each team. The teams that finish in the top 6 for their lobby will move on to a final qualifier round of 48, after which only 24 teams will be left standing to move on to the group stage. The group stage will be comprised of a 3-week season, with 2 game days each weekend. The teams promoted from the Open Qualifier will be placed into 4 groups of 6 teams each. Throughout the season, these groups will be paired on game days in a round-robin format, so that each group will face off against every other group in a 12-team lobby at least once. At the conclusion of the group stage, the top 8 teams from this stage will qualify directly to the finals. The bottom 4 teams in the overall standings will be dropped from the tournament, and the remaining teams will move on to the Last Chance Qualifier. The Last Chance Qualifier will see the teams placed 9th through 20th from the group stage compete in their final opportunity to qualify for the finals. Their bouts will take place over the course of 2 game days, with 6 games per day, all in a final bid to earn their shot at the championship. After this intense LCQ stage, only the teams in the top 4 will be able to move on to the finals. To cap things off, our grand finals will take place over the span of 3 days, with the top 12 teams from the tournament playing 6 games every day for a grand total of 18. Here, teams must go all out to earn points and stake their claim as the inaugural Free Fire Pro Series champions. At the end of the 3 game days, the 12th finalist will receive their share of the $50,000 prize pool, and a North American champion will be crowned.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome back. It is time for the Free Fire Pro Series North America Grand Final. My name is Toffees. I am joined by Twiggy, and we're breaking down all the action and guiding you through what you need to know today. And we'll have Hypoc and Porosaurus slinging verbiage on the mic to walk you through the games. It's going to be a day of fun, a day of crazy, and really a great way to lead up to a snoomus, if you will, which we'll talk more about as time moves forward. Now, in just a second, we're going to get into breaking down all the prizes and things like that. But Twiggy, welcome to the show. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling incredibly excited. I've been part of the adventure all the way through, so watching it come to its natural conclusion, it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait at all.
Absolutely. You know, I'm glad that you've been part of the adventure all the way through. I hope that both of us get to the end of the adventure and, aren't like those guys in the red shirts. Nobody likes to see. It was the red shirt guys that never made it right out of Star Trek. Can't remember. But you know what I can remember? How the season worked. Let's take a look at exactly how the season went down and what it took to get to this place. It started off in the qualifiers, a round of 192. That's like a WTF level of teams that started this thing off. You had to fight your way through absolute chaos to a group stage that lasted 3 weeks, where the top 8 teams got to go straight to the grand final, and the rest went to the Last Chance Qualifier. Fire. Where the top 4 teams made it to the grand final. We putting up or shutting up, as that's the 12 teams that will be going the distance. Let's talk about the prize pool, though, Twiggy, because that's what we're here playing for. First place gets $12.5K out of the $50,000 prize pool, but there are lots of opportunities for bonuses. Can you explain to me the blue tabs over on the right side?
Absolutely. We'll start off with Kill Machine. So over the course of the grand finals, we're going to be tracking everybody's stats. Kill Machine, $500 to the most total kills over the full 3 days. And right below that, Lethal Killer for most kills in one game. So you see somebody dropping 8, 9, 10. They're going to be well in contention for that $500 bonus. And then we've got our 1,000 and 2,000. Playing for first is highest average placement over every game over the 3 days. So you see a team near that top. I mean, we've seen La Bahia up there getting about a 3 average. So that would be great for them if they can keep up that form. And then Booyah team, the most first places. So that team that can stay up there till the end, you get a few of those. $2,000 in hand.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a lot of bonus cash. So if you can go out there and maybe you don't get all of the booyahs you need to take home the victory, but you rack up the kills, it's a nice little padding in terms of your pocket. So these guys looking to cash in, as well as make a statement on the international stage. There is a possibility that they get a chance to go forward, to shine. That's a big part of this stuff, Twiggy, is you always want to make sure you are the top slated team in your region, because if an international pops up, you want the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always the biggest thing with this one, especially, it's the inaugural season of the North American Free Fire Pro Series, and it's great to be part of that first group of 12 teams that are getting to this grand final, but more than that, getting that chance to play on the international stage is really what everybody dreams of.
These are the 12 teams that will be in the grand final. Take a look at them now. Each one, for those of you who are new, dropping 4 players into the match, and the team that survives is the winner. It's going to be awesome to enjoy. We'll talk a little more about the teams in depth, but first, let's also take a look at the maps that we will be playing today. We're starting off in Purgatory, and then, like Dante, leaving it and moving to Bermuda, a nice tropical paradise, and finishing up in Kalahari. It'll be fun. 6 matches. Should be proper quick, though, so hold on to your chairs, because it is going to be an awful lot. Yep.
I mean, I was just going to say, every team has really been, building up to this one. We've seen 6 maps every day for this whole time, so hopefully everybody has that stamina ready for those quick first few games. And then, I mean, we're starting on Purgatory today, so big map into small map into big map again, so maybe it'll be a bit different for them. Generally starting on Bermuda in the first day of each part of the event, so it should be a little different.
It'll favor some of those teams that I think utilize large areas. Northblood, for instance, I like their edge play. We'll see if they thrive starting out on a larger map. Now, that said, let's take a look back at the group stage. We've got the leaderboards from those group stages, so we can look at how people did coming into this. Pretty obvious when you look at this who the favorite is coming into the weekend, Twiggy. La Bahia.
Yeah, not only 42 points away from the rest of the pack, but look at the gap in Group A itself. Yep. Look at that. 1st to 12th is the gap between those ones. You can see they were stealing points away from the rest of their group. Absolutely massive from them. They've just been playing incredibly well the whole time. But also, you've got big names there. Fuego, Northblood, Invalidos also getting over 200 points over the group stage. So really looking to see something great out of those.
Yeah, I mean, to put this in perspective, the only A team besides La Bahia that's made it in is Wasaka, and they had to do it through the last chance qualifier. Like, that's how dominant they were in their individual group, that none of those people they played with have been allowed to join them in the grand final. Pretty wild. Let's take a look at the last chance qualifier. We talked about Wasaka for just a second there. If La Bahia dominated the group stages, Wasaka definitely dominated the last chance qualifier, Twig.
Yeah, not actually a massively quick start in the last chance qualifier. They did start off a little lower down. I think it was mostly C7 Esports actually that was up near the top at the start, and then it just kind of slowed down in the middle, and then you saw this boost from Wasaka Esports. They got kills after kills. I think their last game dropping about 12, well past that in kills, and getting 3 booyahs, obviously massive from them, and it should be really interesting to see how they carry that momentum today.
So the top 4 on that leaderboard will be joining the group to make out the 12. But let's talk a little more in depth about these teams. We've already mentioned them, Twiggy, but we're gonna double down for just a second. I know that if I asked you to make a pick, if I said pick 3 teams who might win this thing, I assume you and I would probably both pick La Bahia as one of them. What is it about this team that you think just makes them so ridiculously good?
I mean, the thing is, these guys play incredibly aggressively. They're not an edge playing team. They drop right in the middle, and they stay in the middle of each zone all game. They know that they can win those gunfights. And I think that's just the biggest part about all of this, is that they just are so confident. Their average placement, 3.8. So not only are they dropping right in the middle, where everybody has great angles on them, they can't really rotate too easily around other teams, but they're still winning those fights. They're still getting to the end of the game, getting 7.5 average kills per game. They have 4 booyahs over the group stage. They just seem infallible so far.
And on top of that, you got Domitios, who averages 3.5 kills per game. Like, this player by himself is a game changer that any other team would love to get their hands on. I mean, if you're building a team around someone, and I'm sure probably the rest of the team doesn't love hearing that, but that's the reality when someone's putting up numbers like that, that this is an amazing anchor to sort of build that base on, because nobody else is slouches. 1.5 plus a game is pretty strong, but 3.3 is epic.
Yeah, he's definitely the big playmaker of the team. I mean, there's other players in the team that definitely do have that impact. Kyrox, for instance, he's been great with grenades. We've seen him getting so many finishes and a lot of damage for his team, but, it's really going to be Domitios that we're going to see pushing for those fights, getting those engagements, finishing off those kills.
So that's the first team. We've got 12. We'll try to get through as many as we can today, but it's free fire, which means it's fast, it's furious, it's chaotic, and it's about to begin. The drums are playing. The map is just about ready. And as soon as we're told those players are ready to drop, we're going to send it over to our casters in just a second. But I want to ask you real quick, Twiggy, is it about... Oh, actually, no, they're ready. I got the call. They're set up. I was worried they weren't, but it is time to kick it off. We're going straight to game with Porosaurus and Hypoc.
Hello, everybody. I am Porosaurus. Joining me is Hypoc on the cast, and we are ready for game number 1 of week number 1 of the Free Fire North America Grand Finals. Hypoc, this plane right down the center. It's going to open things up. It should be a slow... Are we expecting a slow early game? Maybe. I don't know.
It should be, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to be able to get themselves situated unless they choose otherwise, right? Doesn't look like there's too much overlap initially. Actually, a little bit to the north, actually, towards Moat House, potentially. No, actually, they're going to pull away now. So, Ski Lodge, probably the only point of contention here, Poro.
I was going to say, trick question. There's always hot dropping in Free Fire. But no, yeah, it seems like for the most part, these guys are
I mean, that's
slowing
fairly
down
spread,
early
actually, if you think about it.
Isn't it? It really is. 9D is about the only one. I mean, 9D and IT and T-Money kind of right on each other on the south side. That might get a little sketchy. We'll have to see. Oh, no, you're a bush. You're running. Spectral has the gun in hand, but Milo has absolutely nothing to work with. Kelvin's down as well. So right off the bat, Onu going to lose 2.
Again, this is the only point, really, where there was an overlap. Looks like... Again, unable to stretch far enough here, and they're going to get punished for it. So Osaka put 2 kills up very early on, and actually potential here for them to punish even further. I don't know if they're going to get set up for this push nice and early, but at least the weaponry and FA Ratchi, it's going to find from range there.
Prince keeping it going. Spectral does go down, though, so now Osaka down to 2 as everything was looking really nice there for a second. All of a sudden, this completely flipped around. Mario gonna use that hard cover, and now, oh no, it's down to Luis. It's Alcalde. How did they turn this around? Mario just absolutely goated on the sticks right now. Prince, you can see, still alive, still kind of holding down the fort inside just to make sure that Luis doesn't make the move. Mario trying to go for the angle, the side flank, but everybody taking a lot of damage here, and you can see off in the distance, and B starting to make it down there, and just like that, Osaka. Triple kill. Yeah, give him the heart.
Yeah, dance it out. I mean, actually, really, really well played there. Prince, you can see he's kind of playing for info. Mario actually had a god angle on that ridge there, so able to flip that one back on its head. And actually, the 3-piece coming out pretty tasty in the early game there, Poro.
Jeez, man, that's the stuff that Tilt is made of. If you're Osaka, they got to be careful to not let this one get into their heads. As right off the bat, I mean, it looked like we saw. I mean, they were looking absolutely ready to go. I mean, they got 2 kills right off the bat, and then they just have it flip on them like that. And now you have to sit here and wait. And I know you've played before, right? Sitting there after you get wiped like that in team comms for the next 20 minutes.
It's pretty tense, yeah. It's not a nice place to be. And again, I think you're right. The frustration there is drawing first blood, having not just a man advantage, a 2-man advantage, right? In that scenario, even with the again, call it luck of the draw, whatever hat you want to spin on it. It's tough to then have that kind of flip back on themselves. But again, it comes down to who gets to a building first, and ultimately they paid the price, I guess, for dropping a little split.
It could have been worse. They did at least get 2 points out of it, 2 kills. So, yes, it was bad, but it could have been worse.
A spade is a spade, yes.
Sure, yeah. And now, here we go. R15 going to be sneaking around the backside of Northblood here. Northblood, definitely a team I've got my eyes on. They did really, really well during the group stages. I'm expecting to see them. I'm trying to pull up my stats to see where they finished. They're third overall, and they actually improved as the weeks went on. So definitely coming into these grand finals pretty hot. R15, meanwhile, the opposite. They started off hot and they started slowing down a little bit towards the end. And it looks like R15 just going to keep an eye on Northblood, but not engage.
Yeah, probably just scope it out here. Not even sure if any information has been gathered on R15 side, but they look like they were at least trying to avoid initially and wrapping that ridge. So I'm not sure if they're going to give up a little bit of space to Northblood and I guess
9D.
Agree to coexist at the minute. Yeah. So yeah.
9D wrapping around. You can see R15 on the very far
They're not even aware of this. They're going to be tunneled towards Northblood.
They're looking so far because they're trying to backfill Northblood, right? So you're not. I mean, hopefully you hear. I mean, I'm not sure if 90 is in vehicles or not. We can't really tell there, but they're right on top of each other. So I'm assuming, just given how fast they're moving on foot. So yeah, there you go. They're just kind of running it up behind, and I don't know if anybody from 90 has even spotted this out yet. But once they do, now you're in a kind of a weird situation if you're 90, aren't you?
Yes.
You've kind of got to decide, like, do we want to take these long range fight, or do we want to just backfill? How long can we sneak up behind these guys?
I mean, this is one of the good examples of okay, yeah, actually, look like they might stack up. And the problem being, like I was going to say, you don't know what's beyond the team that you see, right?
Right.
And I mean, we can see the bigger picture. Actually, R15 opening up fire here, actually from the knock on to Elite 7. That could be detrimental for R15.
Ooh, they got the knock and the flush onto Elite 7 here for Northblood. They do get the trade back on Dalen, but you see the glue walls are out, the hard cover coming through. But look at this, now 90 just come in, clean up right behind them. And R15 down to just one. It's Doba hiding behind what's left of those glue walls. They're going to get shot down eventually. And yep, there's the damage coming through. Doba's still alive, though, but not much longer. Blester's going to find him. And R15 gets pinched.
I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about, right? It's they're the first ones to kind of show their hand, and ultimately that's their demise. Again, the problem being now is obviously Northblood are alerted to the second threat. Ultimately, they're in a position to gatekeep if they choose to, but it looks like, again, taking a casualty, they're probably just going to try and hightail here. If it really, they're going to switch on salvage mode this early on, but they definitely have space to, I guess, navigate away from this.
Sure. And I mean, they still have to work their way in the circle also. So, I mean, they've got doing the gatekeeping thing. I mean, I don't know what gates they'd be keeping all the way the hell over there in Ski Lodge. I mean, that is way off in the east side in the circle.
Yeah, a gatekeep can happen anywhere, man. Doesn't matter where the circle is. If you got to move past a team and they want to dig their heels in, again, information is key in that regard, like I said.
And yeah, I mean, you can do a certain amount of prep work. You can get a pretty good idea of the psychology of a team just based off of what they do in scrims. But sometimes you just never know, man. You never know who's that team that's just going to sit there, dig in the blue, in the zone and campus and just mutually assured destruction. You never know who that team's going to be. So always got to keep your head on a swivel. Meanwhile, this is probably our tournament favorite, right? La Bahia, just a little bit south of dead center circle, but all four up, and this is what they do, man. Area control.
And again, tend to favor kind of dead center, and this again is another scenario where information is key, right? They don't want to overextend too much, but again, reading teams and in terms of tendencies at least, and getting this information early enough is going to be key to their success. Really, they've got any threats in any direction right now, so they're going to be able to carry on doing this for the next few minutes at least.
Yeah, just sit there, take it all in, man. See whatever you can spot out. Got to get, hope they got their good glasses on, looking at those screens. Make sure you're going to have to spot out a little head cresting over the top of a hill somewhere. My boomer eyes couldn't do it, but these guys are absolutely prepared for the challenges. We see the northeast side really starting to get a little bit thick here. NB starting to push into Wasaka, who's still hanging out on the island. That's where they dropped to loot. Onu also has made their way up there with their final 2 players after that big win by Prince, the triple kill from Prince coming through and finishing off Wasaka. But this could pop off. Who's going to be the third party? That's always the question.
And then some on the back of that. Actually going to open up here from the high ground. That's going to take a boatload of damage. Blester too. 9D looking to punish. And again, actually the ones potentially in a position to gatekeep now. I mean, they could get boxed into the compound. But again, it looks like 9D don't want anything to do with this now. Pressured a little bit of poke damage. Might even just look to rotate ahead of them here.
Yeah, I'm really liking this movement coming out from 9D. It seems like their thoughts are like, hey, we can have this high ground, we're going to do some damage, but let's focus on getting inside the circle. We know that they're going to have to come in eventually. Like, they have to leave. Let's put ourselves in a better position for this. Meanwhile, Fuego made their way up behind all of this as well from that eastern side. So 9D maybe pulling out just in a nick of time. 9D, oh! NB going to go down. They're going to lose Esteban. They're going to lose Boss. And NB down to just Blester here, as Northblood has been just picked apart by multiple teams. Fuego is coming out of the blue here. But as you said, 9D just moving down, getting in perfect gatekeeping position.
I don't know if they caught maybe some of the third-party damage coming in there or what the decision-making was, but looking like actually going to try and push on all the way down, clean this up way ahead of time. Actually, glue wall's going up right and center here.
Oh, Millsy!
Look at that. Jeremy finds Millsy.
Millsy looked like he was going to go for the push, but I think realizing just a hair too late that Fuego was still holding a pretty nice angle on all of this.
Axel's got to get involved here.
I mean, Axel made his way very far into the circle. You can see they've got a big full pinch going on here, but Axel needs to start putting more pressure on here. And there you go. Some pressure is going to come out. Axel's going to make the push here. Jeremy still in the blue. Blester still in the blue as well, so he could get involved at any point here. Axel finally getting involved. He's going to find 2 before eventually going down, but that's going to open up the door for Jeremy to make them push.
Actually, Blester as well, just showing his hand in the back line. Going to find another knock. Exploit goes down. You find the last one here. Loads of damage being output.
Oh, he can't get back.
That's unlucky. And again, I think actually Blester fell in the mix there somewhere in the backlines. Again, perfect time to try and get involved there. Just try and, I guess, salvage something out of this. We'll call it a brawl. Somehow 9D walk away with this with 7 kills. I think it was only 2 initially on the back of Northblood, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Pick up 5 in the process. Meanwhile now, Team Money and Skullbreaker's going to be fighting on the south side. They've got the glue walls going down over the hill. You can see Monkey has gone down. Maxima traded out as well. They're going to try to go for the res as Palunky will drop the glue walls. But the push is coming in from Rubio. He's got the visibility bush on. He's going to make a push. He's going to find another knock, but eventually go down. And now 2 down for Skullbreakers. Team Money has to make a push as well. They're going to try to send it. But no, he goes down. They will flush out Maxima, but Palunky should be resable. And now it's just down to Adio.
A little bit split from this again, unable to have any say in this, so I'll actually be able to fully reset, get 3 back on their feet here. And again, it's going to try and punish these glue walls. I'm not really sure what you can do from this situation there, Poro.
Not much.
They're going to push here. They're being decisive. I love this, getting proactive.
Gotta go. Gotta get on the move here. You know you got one more. And they will try to do the damage. They're going to take out the glue wall. Adilio's got another one ready for him. He's going to drop 2. Question is, how many more of these glue walls you got, Adilio? How many more can you put up to keep you alive? Not enough. Palunky.
Yeah, not enough.
Big shots coming through, and now that'll be Skullbreakers with 4 kills, and they have complete control over the south side, but they do have to make it across the river where the new circle has popped, and it's going to be Invalidos. They've got a dead center position. We'll see how they decide to play it. It's not always that great to have that dead center position. Yeah, you're in the circle, but now you got to be watching all sides. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. The problem here is if anybody's able to find an edge to play from, it looks like actually Axino's got to be pretty careful here. A lot of pressure. The glow's going to open up and at least alert him to his presence. And the nade coming through actually, like it was decent onto the backside of the rock. Yeah, it's done a ton of damage there, Poro.
Yeah, that was a nice time turn to drop down to keep the nade from dropping right on them, but I think it might have bounced off of them and hit their other teammates.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a little bit unfortunate here. As the nades from Invalidos are doing big work onto La Bahia. They've already lost one, another one's down the res off, but Invalidos not wasting any time. They're going to make the hard push. Silence, SMG in hand. Do the damage onto the glue wall, try to take out the hard cover, but just like that, Invalidos, clean as you like onto La Bahia.
I mean, we were saying potentially this is a position that's going to feel a lot of pressure, but again, I love to see teams get proactive like that. They don't allow anybody to set up or any threat to kind of build behind them, but actually hopping back over this. 90 actually going to try and push down here. Only a rock to play from so far. No damage straight off just yet.
Yeah, that's a dangerous man right there, Sanji. Definitely one of our big fragging players for IT. And fortunately for 9D, this rock is very big. But the question is...
Yeah, luckily, yeah.
I mean, they had all those fights there as well, but all those fights, the big fight went on outside of the zone. So you wonder how much time they got to loot. You
found a knock. Exploit got a knock.
That's a nice knock exploit, and they've got enough glue walls here to try to make the push. The res does come through. IT back on all 4 feet. Trona, you can see he's trying to get the heal off, but Millsy going to drop that time turner just to reveal himself enough so that he can creep in and out and drop the nades. Silence will find another knock, and now look at this, 9D doing work, but look at that. Now Wasaka going to start creeping up. They want to see if they can maybe third party from range. Invalidos wants a piece of this as well.
And actually, a couple of knocks coming through from Invalidos from the backside. Gonna try and push into the compound, try and rack up a couple more kill points here. Again, IT just getting split on 2 different sides of this compound, unable to take one clean fight. See if Invalidos can find anything else out here, but 9D almost gifted the golden opportunity to come down to the compound here.
This is, you can see nice work coming out from Invalidos. They've sent Mex up as the point man while they've left the other 3 in the backside here, basically just to kind of keep track of everybody, keep track of 9D, make sure IT doesn't pull any crazy raps here. They're just going to let Mex get right in their faces with those SMGs, grenades, see if they can do some more work. Invalidos, meanwhile, looks like they're just going to pull off of this. The circle, as you see, is popped,
yeah, I think,
and gone way off in the distance.
Factor.
Yeah,
Timing definitely a factor here. It wasn't cleaned up quick enough. 9D actually tried to freeze and almost allow Invalidos to deal with that. Millsy actually going to try and hop in a vehicle, find himself some space elsewhere, but maybe just looking for an ulterior angle to pressure Invalidos off the top side of the hill, but punished for it there.
Yeah, they try to pull a sneaky there, try to see if they can maybe get away from this, but Invalidos, they pulled off of the fight, but only just to that hill. They knew that this was going to be taken care of eventually. Sanji going to go down, Patrona going to go down, IT is done. 9D, I believe, still has 2 alive, but they are eating a bunch of blue damage right now.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, nope, they're done.
Yep, done for. Invalidos now 4 strong. Themselves a decent high ground position. Whether or not actually Victor looking to almost scout on top side of the hill. This fight might break out immediately here, Paro.
Wasaka has been kind of playing it from the other edge, and they've got 4 kills. You can see, I think maybe they were involved in a fight with someone else while that fight was going on, so they never got a chance to really sneak up there and third party Invalidos. So now it's just going to be the fight on the hill. The glue walls are going down. Jonah's down. Victor's down.
No
Kamatron is going to have to heal up slowly. Invalidos using that high ground position to great effect here. All 4 up. What a grenade from Axino. Lands right on the man, and just like that, Invalidos, super clean, gets your first win of the grand finals.
That was actually insane. I mean, that's a MVP performance from Axino in that game. We saw him pop off in that previous team fight as well, actually being the solo defender versus initially who the team that was pushing in towards center. But there in the late game, man, that was really, really well timed again to pull away from that initial fight. Again, looking for that third party opportunity and then knowing when to kind of disengage is really, really important for situations just like that. Again, making sure that they have control of the high ground, which is ultimately the game-winning spot power.
Yeah, I mean, it's great meta play from Invalidos and obviously great mechanical play. I mean, they're hitting their shots. They're landing crazy grenades from a mile away. I mean, great stuff coming out from Invalidos. Again, third partying late game, absolutely huge. Little confused about what happened with Wasaka. I kind of lost track with what was going on and why they didn't get involved a little bit earlier. But
yeah.
Either way, let's throw it over to our analyst test to break down what we saw in game number 1.
Thank you, gentlemen. Everything about game one is what we love about Free Fire. It was chaotic. It was wild. Glue wall fortresses are a thing. So let's take a look back at the last game with some highlights and talk about exactly how it went down. Talking about the game so far.
Well, I mean, immediately there was that fight between Osaka and Laonu. I mean, two teams I really didn't expect to go for a straight-up fight right in the middle of the game. Sorry, right at the start of the game. But, well, I mean, it happened. And Osaka, they had the upper hand to begin with. Didn't quite work out for them. Then Club 9D, they came in massive in the middle of the game. But their timing just wasn't right in that last fight where they were trying to third party. They tried to get away at the end. The zone was moving in on them. And they just didn't quite get anything right at the end. And the Invalidos' just their capitalization on the situation was absolutely beautiful, and they just completely took the momentum and ran with it.
Yeah, we saw that accuracy through volume kill as we move to the end game here. We saw some pretty good fights. We'll break down what happened with La Bahia. A favorite there is they got wiped out in sort of the mid game. And we'll move to the end here because it really did come down to a bit of a showdown. You heard the guys talking about where was Wasaka as this fight developed. You can see that they were downhill. They chose to sort of sit there and wait and let everyone else fight it out instead of pushing that third party. And it seemed like that may have actually cost them the game. It seems to me when I watch Free Fire that the name of the game really is third parties. When you hear the chaos, it's way more effective to be on a hill ruining a fight than to be down there in what is absolutely just a cluster, right? With all those walls and the time turners and everything else that's going on. How impactful? Like, do you think there's teams out there who just focus on third parties, sort of their way of getting points?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of teams that kind of do go for that kind of third-party gameplay. They really try and just capitalize on other teams' fights. I don't think we saw any of the teams that I expected to do that kind of thing this game. Club 9D were really trying to, but I think the timing with the zone didn't quite work out for them. They were really trying to get that push onto the team that Invalidos were firing down on. Can't quite remember. I think that was IT Official who was stuck in the camper vans there, but it just didn't work out. Invalidos really had the high ground. They were waiting for a push from them. I think they were aware that Club 9D could have been behind there and just managed to get the timing right perfectly to stop them from moving away from the zone.
You know, Invalidos is a game that tends to like to go for zone control. They seem like they move to the middle very quickly, and I'm used to them waiting a little bit. In that game, they took the fight to who we sort of were talking about as a potential favorite coming out of group stages. La Bahia was on the edge, and Invalidos pushed them and actually eliminated the entire team. I mean, do you think that that's an evolution? Is that sort of what it's going to take to win this thing? Because I assume they'd be a little more passive and wait for the bad guys to come to them instead.
Yeah, maybe it could be. You know, it might be one of these complacency things that you do see it all over the place. You never know what kind of team, they get that win in their head. They've been absolutely dominant through the qualifiers, through the group stage, didn't have to play in the last chance qualifiers, and apparently haven't been overly, pushing for that, practice every day with these teams, the scrims, and maybe it is just catching up with them. Counter-stratting is a thing, especially when we're coming into the same teams that you've played against for a month now, Invalidos probably know exactly how La Bahia play. Pushing in on them, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. The grenades were perfectly timed, the pushes were perfectly timed, and they just, it was just their Achilles heel in a sense.
So in that fight down by the river, not only did we see glue walls for days and sort of the impact of them, as well as the fact that if you're not careful, they might sit up on top of the hill and let you get shot in the shins. We also saw a little bit of time turner use. Now, that is in previous iterations of this event, there would have been time turners all over the place down there. We just saw one, and I know there were some changes, so let's walk through for those viewers at home who maybe aren't up to date on the patches. What's going on with the time turner, and why aren't we seeing it as much as we used to?
Yeah, exactly. That patch came through 2 weeks ago, just before the second day of last chance qualifiers, turning the time turner from, a bubble that you can shoot out of, increases your speed, it has health, but it can stay up for as long as it needs to. It's completely changed that now. It has infinite health, but a time constraint on it, and you cannot shoot from inside it now. So you saw players kind of dodging in and out of it, trying to throw grenades through out of it, and just using it to place down glue walls instead.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I've seen an evolution of the sort of maybe teams trying out how to use the time turner, because I know a lot have moved away from it. But there was that moment where I think we saw it was 9D using it strategically, they were just sort of shoulder peeking and throwing glue walls as visual blocks. They actually pushed across the road effectively because they threw out 2 or 3 glue walls. And while the team who was in a house cleared their windows of glue walls, they were able to make it across the road. Are there any other iterations that you've seen yet, or have you heard anything about how teams think that they can use this, or do you think this is still just going to be a very niche item that maybe one person runs?
Not so far. I'm seeing a little more usage than we did on that second day of last round's qualifiers just after it had changed, but I don't think the teams have quite gotten used to exactly what you want to do with it yet.
Well, let's see what they do with it in this game. It is time for match number 2 with Hyposaurus.
Thank you, Toffees. And yes, we are getting ready for game number 2. And the analyst brings up a good point, talking about the time turners and how much different that change has made everything here. Now, obviously these are pro teams, right? They're grinding this game. They've probably had a little bit more time just in scrims and stuff like that to try to figure out ways to work around it. But again, not seeing as much play, but it's making these late game fights a little bit more interesting. The third party, I feel like, is going to be a way bigger factor now.
Yeah, and I almost feel like this is now, because the time turn itself becoming like the ace up the sleeve, right? In terms of layering, and again, they're touching on kind of that ability to duck in and out. But I think protecting the glue walls in some scenarios is going to be the goal there, but it's not going to be the first go to, right? In terms of closing distance, at least we're talking about these close quarter engagements more so.
Yeah, I mean, whereas the time turner used to be almost like a bailout option, just in case things were going bad for you. I mean, you could just, if you got shot in the middle of a hill or something out in the middle of the open, you could just drop time turner and return fire, and now you can't do that anymore, really. So we're seeing some of the long-term effects of that change starting to come through. But right off the bat, got to give credit to Invalidos. Once again, third party have just been amazing from them.
That was crazy. And again, just to come back, there was Axino who actually opened up onto La Bahia. I think actually we'll have to hold that thought here because Fuego in the thick of it right now with IT Poro.
Right off the bat.
The scramble for loot. Look.
It's always a terrifying prospect whenever you drop, and then you've got the guy who's like, there's literally 3 people in the only building I was going to go into, so I'm just going to sit here and listen for footsteps. Team, hopefully you can find something and come save me.
We're sharing a weapon. We are sharing a weapon.
Yeah. Do we have that mechanic? Can we throw a weapon to a teammate here yet? Here you go. Patrona just listening for those footsteps. He's got a weapon though. So he's ready to go.
He's actually in a really good spot. Again, playing for info. You see Fuego on the minimap actually looking like they didn't get the favorable inventory, I should say. Unable at this point. I don't think it's a clean disengage. You can't necessarily just bail on this. They are definitely looting away. I mean, Jeremy and Axel are going to have a bit of a hard time regrouping here if any pressure comes through from IT.
And that is something that we have come to expect from IT official, is they were definitely a fighting team during the group stages. Meanwhile, R15 didn't have a great first game. They got picked apart pretty early, and now they are pushing into Wasaka. But they should know. They should absolutely know that Wasaka is here. This has been Wasaka's drop spot for ages now. So this is a fight that you imagine R15 actually wants to take.
They're looking to again be a little more aggressive actually than game 1. Whether or not they're going to push up again. Wasaka actually pretty passive towards the end of the previous game, so it'll be interesting to see if they commit to holding this. Looks like they're going to leave Jonah out on an island though initially.
Now, R15 only netted themselves 1 point from that first game, currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. So this definitely seems like a play that they don't want to start that snowball rolling. They want to kind of turn things around here, but they're going to find themselves having to do it without Bestia, who has been knocked on the bridge, and he is separated from the rest of the boys. So that is not a res that's likely to come through anytime soon. Most likely will get flushed, and there it is. Jonah will pick up first blood. And now R15. Oh, Cat, no! Oh, he had him. He absolutely had him, and Jonah just immediately turned on him.
You got to win those. You really got to win those. With Jonah making it work. Dalen actually going to be under a lot of pressure now as Wasaka look to collapse onto this, find another kill point if possible. You got a glue wall to deal with, but only a matter of time before they're able to break through.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's going to be able to actually dip out the back. as they sent 3. I think
Jonah's on the hunt.
Oh, there, yeah, he wants it so bad. Comatron going to be the one that gets it. Actually finds Daling and gets the flush. So they sent 3 in to make sure that they don't accidentally lose everybody to a solo, because that's the worst case scenario, obviously. But they did leave 1 behind to make sure that they spotted him out if he tried to make the run. And now Dauba, the last one up. And where are you going to go, my dude? Well, back to the lobby, it seems.
Again, pretty clean. There's a point there, I guess, a window of opportunity for Jonah to be punished. Like I said, there was, I don't know if that was just on the back end of their looting phase still, or weren't too happy with equipment or whatnot, but they're quick to react at least. So we'll keep 4 up. And actually, I mean, I criticized them for being a little passive towards the end of the previous game, but at least starting off on a strong foot here.
You can see in your screen there, North Blood starting to make their rotation, and I'm looking at the south side of Brasilia right now. You got La Bahia and Fuego are about to be right on top of each other. There we go. And spotted out as looks like Uziel did not know that La Bahia was here. Glow's going to catch him out in the middle of the open, but the nicely timed glue wall will come down, and a grenade going to come back. And it went into the building. Glow's was trying to escape it. He knew it was coming for the glue wall, but he actually bounced into the building with him. He took some damage there. Luckily, he didn't take more. As now you see Uziel dropping that time turner to keep the grenade from falling right on top of him. But La Bahia, I'm not sure if they want this. They seem like they're repositioning or pulling off, maybe trying to go for a side flank here.
It looked initially, actually, Kyrok's going to open up there with a knock. That might slow things down a little bit on Fuego's side, because it looks as if with these glue walls, they were going to get a little bit aggressive towards the hillside. But I think you're right, La Bahia, they almost looked like they were going to entertain it, but didn't like the setup. They were conscious of maybe that 2-2 split from Fuego potentially punishing them, but they come away from this with 1 kill point initially, and now expect Fuego to maybe turtle up a little bit. Again, without full information here, it's such a difficult just push up the hill blind, right?
Yeah.
You're going to throw down so much to close that distance. The terrain not really suiting them here.
Yeah, I think Fuego doing what they should do here. They're just kind of, like you said, turtling up, playing a little tower defense, and just if La Bahia wants it, they're going to have to push us out in the open and try to get over to our compound. We're not going to do it for them. So I think we might have come to a stalemate in that fight in Brasilia. Check in with Skullbreakers. They are, where are they? They are actually on the north side of the western island, and they're actually going to run into Invalidos. Invalidos wide in the open.
Man.
Xeno.
This dude is on today, man. Did you just get second one? Did you find Maximo on the cross there?
Oh my gosh. Xeno is just wilding out right now. I mean, he is landing every shot. Sometimes you wake up feeling dangerous, Hot Puck, and that man is feeling real dangerous right now. Is he going to find another? Okay, no, that's just when he's getting his flushes. But, yeah, Invalidos wants to finish this off. Skullbreakers, they have the glue walls down. They're trying to run away. They're trying to get to some kind of hard cover, but Mex isn't going to let it happen. He's going to push right into the faces, drops the time turn, says, I'll bait you to use that, as he's going to find Cuba clean as you like. Invalidos, they know exactly where Palanque is. It's only a few grenades before that man is done for.
Yeah, taking a little bit of damage initially, but you're right, just a matter of time. Is nothing really for him to get done here. As you can see, Axino actually cooking up and up top, and I don't know, they even decide to push up here. I mean, Palanque's got nowhere to go. The nade damage, they're doing about half, but yeah, they're just going to push up, and they don't want this to drag out any longer here.
Nah. And there you go. Very clean stuff once again from Invalidos, as 2 kills apiece picked up from X and Xeno. Really nicely done from them, and now they have they've got a pretty clear path over to the mainland if they decide to take it. Now, the circle has shifted, and it has gone to the southwest, and you've got all 3 islands still in play.
It's actually 9D doing 9D things once again. They're going to run in. Actually, a copy trade off initially. Meals are going to find one, but Milo actually gets the flush in return.
This is a nicely timed glue wall to keep Kelvin alive there.
Yeah.
Onu back up to 4 strong. 9D, they've got that ridge line to work with, but this is
not
dangerous.
Much,
it's really not.
And again, they need to kind of break line of sight here with the terrain, or make a push uphill. I think Millsy's looking to get within grenade range here. Another one over top. Actually going to find one over the top.
There you go, Millsy finds the perfectly timed and placed grenade, and now Kelvin has gone down, Prince has gone down, and Laonu, this is starting to fall apart for him here.
Just Mario and Milo left now. Actually, the trade comes back again. Domi and Milo will find a Millsy. We'll try and get something done. Actually, the res comes through. Mario's back on his feet. Millsy feeling the heat now. And
oh, man.
Flushes come through. It's just going to be Millsy. Going to have to tuck his tail between his legs here. Retreat away from this one. But a really nice try from 9D. Again, really, really rough to push uphill, especially when, I guess, the timing of when they're spotted. Milo doesn't want to let him get away. Time turner comes down. Millsy, it's desperation time now. He's just going to leave this one out. But look at this. Osaka in the distance here,
Osaka.
He could get baited in here.
They absolutely could. And look at this. Laonu actually going out into the zone to hunt this man down. They do not want to leave Millsy at all.
This is piece, man.
This
he wants
is
his 4-piece.
aggressive. He absolutely does. I mean, look, and now look, as soon as if they see it in the kill feed, oh no. Oh, Osaka, you didn't want this. You didn't want this at all. You just wanted to make a rotation. You just wanted to wrap around the south side uninfringed. And now you're running into Onu, who's already taken a nice bit of damage. Spectral gonna go down though. Milo actually gonna be the one to do it, as Milo is on a fire.
Yeah, we're not actually gonna find any damage up here. Osaka look like they're hesitating a little bit. It's like 500 is pretty committed, but he's pushing solo right now.
You can see 90. He's managed to escape. Look at on the minimap. He's gone. He's like, thank you so much, Osaka.
Yeah,
I really appreciate this. Oh, and Prince gets knocked low. He's going to go down after the glue wall gets shot and finished off, as they're going to try to go for the res. They'll get it, but Osaka 500 going to push in with that shotty. He's going to find it. Mario goes down. And now Laonu, you really wanted to get that final kill. Was it worth? Oh, Milo!
Has to push through and get the re-knock on Spectral, but it's like Osaka will keep 4 up, and that is, I gotta say, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Again, that's, I mean, a lesson to be learned there. Don't be too horny, right? They're desperately chasing down 1 kill, and you never know who's coming in late, right? There's the rule of Battle Royale. There's always one team that's later than you. Always.
Absolutely. There's the one team that's later than you. There's always somebody in the bush. But can we give a shout out to Millsy, who's still alive for 90?
This is it. This is the God rap. This is what they call the God rap right here from Millsy. He's got the pathing down to a T.
I cannot believe that he got out of that. And then he's free and clear. He's actually in zone. He's actually got a pretty good path to the next zone, as well, as this thing is centered up right in the middle of a rivers crossroad. What do we call that? It's just like the all 3 rivers right in the middle, right where they connect. That's where the circle is centered. So Invalido's going to push into Team Money. Team Money trying to do the classic. Oh no, the grenade launcher. Oh.
Dude, Invalidos cannot be stopped right now. Actually, Casino will get knocked here, but again, just a matter of time before the trade comes through, I imagine. Get him back on his feet, for the love of God. Up to 5 kills now, and 8 as a team here for Invalidos. Another really, really solid mid to late game transition, and got themselves a really good position as well.
Xeno is a freaking raid boss right now. He is on an absolute tear. 5 kills already. I can't remember what he got in game 1, but it was a nice little stack. It was just beating the hell out of this glue wall.
Yeah.
0 time for that glue wall. 7 kills in game 1 is what Xeno has. We're getting confirmation. So he's up to 12 in 2 games. In a comp lobby, in grand finals.
Nice must be nice for Invalidos to have something like that. I mean, he was 2nd overall in top fraggers for groups, right? 47 kills, so I guess he was a little frustrated. He wants that number 1 spot.
Well, the circle finally does pick an island, and it's going to be, of course...
Whose island? Whose island is it picked? They've got a bridge to defend. They've got a really good shoreline, and everybody else. I mean, there is a little slice on the south side, or I should say the east side of that bridge to play from, but yeah, nobody's going to be able to find comfort here.
Oh man, this is going to be brutal on this southern island. Osaka
still 8 teams up as well.
Yeah, like okay, so Osaka continued their wrap. They're swimming across right now. They're actually going to get to Invalidos' island by swimming, but Knight Northblood rather tries to make the rotation over. They're going to spot out Jeremy, the last player from Fuego. He's getting shot in the back here. IT Official has made it over to this island as well. Looks like actually Invalidos, for being the only team on that island, not really gatekeeping it as much. They're just kind of letting everybody come to them and see if they can maybe scrap out. You can see IT Official trying to make that swim across here.
I mean, there was a shot. Oh, Millsy, not like this. Not like this. He actually finds a knock. Look at that. Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
There was a moment there where I was like, no way. If he finds this one on glows, there's a chance.
I mean, to be honest, like, you know, we looked at La Bahia as one of our favorites coming into the tournament, and for good reason. I mean, they absolutely destroyed the group stage, but in game one, they got run over by Invalidos. Absolutely worked. So, you know, 2 kills. It looks like they're kind of riding the ship now, but they are kind of in a rough spot. They're still on that North Island. Meanwhile, Invalidos, why not get in another fight? They're going to find Wasaka again, and we'll see how the grenades come through. You see a bunch of damage coming through on Wasaka already. Jonah's going to go down. Man. Mex with the face forward, the face planting push. And Invalidos, again, just collecting kill points right now. Camatron goes down. Victor goes down. Has Invalidos even taken a knock?
No way, man. That's actually crazy. And the crazy thing is, well, Exino didn't even get a single kill in that team fight. It was all Mex. That's the second time, actually, we've seen super clutch uses of the time term coming out from Mex.
I mean, this just an absolute wealth of options for Invalidos right now. Their whole team is just firing on all cylinders. As IT Official, they found the only hardcover building really remaining in this circle, and they're going to be taking the shots towards the north sides of La Bahia. La Bahia, they're just kind of hoping to get a few points off of this. Maybe there's no way that they get to this circle, right?
Well, hopefully not. I mean, with the position that Northblood are in as well, but they're actually focusing, almost, I guess, keeping IT honest.
Let's see. Northblood still just kind of keeping IT Official from over peaking here, as now Osaka has arrived. They came the long way from the north side, or from the south side rather, and they are going to spot out Invalidos. The glue walls are going to come down as they've opened things up.
See here what Saka can get done. Actually, Spectral gonna it's Xeno again, man. No way. And that's the green light. They're gonna push through. They're gonna try and punish Yapara.
And I mean, why wouldn't you? Invalidos, everything has been working out so far with the hard push. And look at the grenade from Xeno! 3-piece. Let him get the last one as well. Another 4 kills picked up for the Invalidos fragger. And now they're turning over to Northblood as they immediately get a knock on the Blester.
Dude, this is actually insane right now. They are so hungry for kills. Immediately the push comes through. They're pushing onto the bridge here, Poro. Mex again with the time turner.
Mex is... he hasn't even taken damage! What is going on? Northblood is just getting absolutely worked right now. Mex is just running around in the middle of them like a freaking tracer as they wipe the entire team. And again, don't take a single knock. Invalidos, 20 kills, 10 for Xeno, and now they're turning over to IT Official.
Finally, somebody gets knocked on Invalidos. Actually, we'll take 2 knocks here. It's just silence left up here. The one man with 0 kills. If you get anything else done here, we'll show his hand. Actually does a lot of damage there, but...
Triple kill. How has La Bahia been able to get over here? And they have the circle.
Because Invalidos was literally killing everybody else. Literally everybody else in the lobby.
Oh my god.
Silence. Oh my god. That was an insane game, Poro.
I mean, look, I was expecting La Bahia to get a couple of booyahs today. I was not expecting him to get it by just being the only one alive in the zone.
Hey, right place, right time, man. That's you got to take those, surely.
Wow. I mean, the Invalidos show.
The other thing is as well. You could say Invalidos didn't close that out, but when you got 20 kills, at that point, what does it matter, right? You've already done the hard work in terms of maintaining that average per game. That was just an insane. It would have been nice to see them close out. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, more games like that, please, guys.
Jeez. Absolutely disgusting stuff coming out from Uvalitas. All right, well, let's throw it over to the analyst desk to break down every single one of Xeno's 10 kills.
Thank you, Poro. I'll break it down for you. Invalidos, and particularly Xeno, woke up today and chose violence. And they chose it in the most brutal way, and they chose it effectively. I mean, this is a team who is just absolutely lambasting. More than 20 kills in that last match. Ultimately, like, this is one of those things, like, Twiggy, are they going to pull far enough ahead because of, like, 1 or 2 games like this that they don't even have to stress about, like, having a bad game because they're taking all of the points?
Yeah, I mean, you get 4 or so of those games over the whole, like, weekend here, and you're just going to be done. It's that easy. You know, you got 9 points for placement there, as well as your over 20. You're going to be looking at 30 points for one game, and keep in mind that they, first off, won last game. Xeno was already on 7 kills from last game. So not only that, they're going to be looking at pretty much already safely getting that kill machine title for $500 extra. Lethal Killer looking like it's going to be going to Xeno with 10 kills in one game. Just amazing from them. They absolutely... Some of the strats they brought out as well with time turners. I thought... Look, we're looking at it right now. There you go. Bringing up a time turner to completely isolate a fight and stop their team from assisting them in stopping them from dying. Just absolutely beautiful. Making it, you know, a 4v4 into a 2v1 in an instant.
Yeah, it seems like the best use we've seen of time turners so far. Invalidos almost changing the way that they play to embrace that. Let's take a look at the actual scores from the game. La Bahia is in first because of the Booyah, but at the end of the day, they only got 5 kills. Invalidos got second, but walked away with 29 points. Like, that is, I mean, 20 kills. There's 12 teams with 4 players each. Like, that is 48 players dropping onto a map. You can't get kills from your own team. So out of the 44 potential kills on the board, they got 20 of them, Twiggy, which is, like, I can't even wrap my head around that kind of aggression. The other teams have to be shaking in their boots at this point because Invalidos never faltered. They saw something, they killed something. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Tovies, let me try and quantify that for you. Just for a second. Now, look at that. Xeno with 10 kills. And then the next 2 people in combination 10 kills, 6 and 4 for Jury and Mex. But look at it this way. With the amount of points they got there, 29 over 17 that La Bahia got, La Bahia could have won the game again and still not have got more points than Invalidos in that. They got 12 more points. That's the placement score for getting first in a game. Absolutely insane. So,
I know, let's put this in. I mean, the reality is that circle that popped up at sort of the Cross Rivers set Invalidos up into a good point to win. And they probably could have gotten Booyah by sort of just sitting there, gatekeeping the island, holding the lockdown position. But they didn't. They didn't gatekeep their island, but with good reason. You don't have to guard the meat grinder. The slaughterhouse doth not prevent the cows from walking in. They just enjoy the free meat. And that's what Invalidos did as we look at this right now. 33 freaking kills after 2 matches, 54 total points. It is a runaway train. And again, we're going to go back to Time Turner with them because this is the first use that I've really seen effectively. They were charging as 4, using glue walls to close. And the second that they found someone, they would isolate them by basically being so grouped up. When Time Turner went down, it was a 1v3. And there was nothing anybody could do to help them.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a smart usage. I mean, you can see that being used maybe even in a fight where you're low on players. And possibly towards the end of the game, we could have seen that happen. Didn't quite work out. Too low health in the zone. Couldn't get out of it. And La Bahia capitalized on that one. But, you know, with 2 players left, they could have just run in, isolated one player, taken it down to a 3v2 immediately, just like that. And that's the smart usage. It's been 2 weeks since this patch has come out. This change in meta that we've seen. And Invalidos have already worked out a way to make it an aggressive strat. You know, you see something where you can't shoot out both sides. That's going to be used more defensively now. And Invalidos say, no. We're going to use it to get 33 kills. And let me show you how. And they did it right there. Absolutely incredible.
And I think one of my favorite things about watching the Pro Series is things you can take back to your own game. So that's number 1. rush with time turner for isolation. Number 2 is get good at shotgun because you're going to have to defend against this rush eventually. And 3 is a little more strategic. I want to go back to a particular moment when Invalidos they had one player from R15 camping in a tower. And when they pushed him, they went 2 sides. And as they turned the corner, they also jumped up onto the railing wall because flicking up on your interface is difficult, right? So it gives you an extra second or two because you know where your opponent is crouched down behind that corner. So even to the point of like mechanical mastery, understanding the map, thinking about how teams are going to be using their digital joysticks to acquire targets, like they seem like they are just on a next level right now. Even with good moments, we saw Osaka, for instance, with a great third party using great strategy as they came in there. They third party, I think it was Laonu, who was sort of bloodlusting, like that. Definitely their fault, a little too heavy on the bloodlust. But the reality is, it was a great play by Osaka, and still, there's like 7 kills in 2 games. I just don't. How do you stop this train? If you're everybody else, how do you stop the train?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to add on to your point just a second ago, 4th tip: if you get Axino in your game, give up. Pray. Just pray. That's all you can do.
Absolutely. Well, you pray if you get him in your game because it's time to get into game and see if he can do it again. Let's go to the maestros of Massacre who can call everything that they choose to do this time around. It is Porosaurus and Hypop.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much to the Analyst S for breaking that one down. Although, what do you even break down? It's just Invalidos just dominating.
I mean, I think we just need a Mex and Xeno highlight reel, really, for the next segment, right? I mean, we should do, hopefully. I was just looking back over the notes coming into this, and the word vanilla is thrown around for Invalidos, and nothing really flashy. So we've definitely seen a little bit of a step change here, to say the least.
You think they may have switched things up for the grand finals a bit?
Yeah, I mean, either that or I don't know who's who was playing previously, to be honest with you. But it's really impressive to see, and I'd say just coming back to what the desk closed off with there, I think the only viable way when a team's playing like this in a lobby, it's so difficult to then try and build up a deficit, close the distance in terms of the points. Some of these teams have got to look for value. They've got to look for value in the early game, particularly before Invalidos can set up, before they can get themselves towards, like a high traffic area, because there's just no kill points late game for them.
Yeah. This is, every team has a strategy coming into a grand finals, right?
Absolutely.
Either a lot of teams, you see them want to try to start off slow. IT official, this is just their strategy all the time. Just face plant into whatever team happens to be in front of you. They find 2 right off the bat as Laonu. We saw Laonu get picked off, or actually do a little bit of picking off themselves in the last game as they did the wait, I'm actually getting confused. I got Laonu confused with Osaka. I'm sorry, Chad. I got Invalidos has thrown me for a complete loop here, but right now IT official trading back and forth here. You can see Milo still alive, trying to come for a nice little angle. MVPs will find it, and that'll be it, I think. Cleaning up Laonu.
Milo's still up.
Milo's still up. Okay. All right.
It looks like he's trying to escape there, but yeah, there you go. You're only 3 seconds ahead. You just knew what was going to happen, right, Poro? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
prophecy is fulfilled.
Oh boy, super confused. Well, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, R15 once again finding themselves in an early game fight. This time it's going to be Team Money. This time it's 2 down for each. And so now they're in that weird position where they got to decide, okay, do we want to stick this out? Do we want to try to escape? What's the deal?
And again, just coming back to what I said, this is what I want to see from some of these teams. Definitely the ones that have, I guess, made it through the mid game and then struggled kind of converting that to a late game position. But when you see teams kind of trade back and forth 2 for 2 in the loot phase, it becomes really awkward. Because again, it's like there are certain teams that are going to be good at salvaging and still going. I mean, if you've only got Axino and Mex up, that would be the perfect example, right? Those 2 can probably go out and still find some kills for you, but it's not the position you want to see some of these teams that are already struggling, even in game 3 here.
Look at this snaky stuff coming out from 9D. They're going to wait for Fuego to make the push right into him, and Axel immediately going to get taken low. And look at this! Oh, he's
Wait, what?
What? Wait, Dami? Okay. Okay, that's oh, the good grenade coming through. Jeremy wants to have a piece of this. Exploit gonna try to survive as he drops the time turner. Gonna work inside and out, just running around the glue walls right now as Exploit trying to survive. And now Millsy will make the run here. Johan gonna get right in their faces. Will get knocked low though. He's got support from Millsy now though, and now Uziel tries to get to the time turner. Doesn't get there in time. Jeremy trying to come up with a shotgun. He'll find one knock, and there you go, cleaned up. As Fuego will take down 9D. They'll lose one, though.
Yeah, they do lose Axel in the mix, which is interesting. Again, that's the importance of, I guess, flushing your kills, right? There was an immediate response on Fuego's side to make sure that they're closing out some of these kills, and I think that's just a numbers advantage, right? I mean, Jeremy goes absolutely ham, but there's certain opportunities, especially with these glue walls going up, where you can break line of sight, you can comfortably confirm your kill. I think that's ultimately what decides that one.
Yeah, I think 9D just happened to get caught off guard there by the rotation of Fuego. I mean, you can see they were kind of split up. They tried to do a little last minute surround on Fuego, try to take him by surprise, but in the end, Fuego does manage to clean it up. Meanwhile, R15 now getting pushed by Northblood. They know exactly where these guys are. The push coming through. Boss will find Beastia. No. Dalen going to try to run. He's got the glue wall down. Boss, no, sir. You're not getting away from me. And that's 2 kills for Boss.
That's really tough. Again, they came storming down the hillside. Again, R15 try and slip out. But at that point, it's... I mean, you gotta stay and try and fight there. Trying to bail out when a team's charging you down like that, there's just no real way you're gonna break line of sight or get to safety quick enough.
At least make it difficult for them, right? Or force them to make decisions.
Take one with you.
Yeah. I mean, force them to make those decisions about, do we want to push this guy, do split him, push him as 4, try to turn it into a 1v2 or a 1v1 even if you get the chance. But yeah, running away when you got 4 people all staring down their scopes at you, that is the quickest way back to the lobby. As we see La Bahia doing what La Bahia does and running, sending it towards the center of the circle now. Northblood already there. And do they spot him out? Oh, Kyrox. That is a dangerous blow. Oh, yeah, you see it. Yeah, you saw him. He's going to drop that glue wall. Glow's going to make the push here. He's got the shotty in hand. Will drop the glue wall just in time to avoid what could have been a grenade right in his lap. Abreu will use the fence to the best of his ability, and will take a lot of damage. Yeah, he is. Okay, we're going to push back here a little bit, try to reposition as Domitios. Got a nice grenade, not going to find damage, though, and now... it's just, look at this, Northblood just crashing face first into the compound, and they're going to pay the price.
The glue wall's going up inside the building, going to make it really difficult. Actually, Leicester around the outside going to find one. Glows will respond. They come back. Actually, the flush comes through onto Elite here. Esteban going to be knocked down now. There's 2 up left for La Bahia. No flushes come through, though. They will close out the fight. We'll have an opportunity to get 4 back on their feet. Really, really weird back and forth there. La Bahia actually the ones to come out on top. I thought there was a moment where they get caught outside the building. Again, Abreu taking a lot of damage on the other side of that fence, but it doesn't equate to a knock early enough there for Northblood.
Yeah, taking the 2 knocks. I'm wondering if La Bahia maybe threw the glue walls in that. I mean, you saw as we were pulling away, they had him covering up the windows.
That was actually really good. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that, actually. The initial push down, again, they walled off the ground floor window, which made it a little bit easier, I guess, to wrap the building. Or again, try and, I guess, force an error out of Northblood. Trying to vault out the window or trying to take a fight on the outside of the building, which in that scenario, La Bahia ultimately have the advantage, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're cutting off their escape route. They can't run into the building for safety, and then if they are in the building already, they can't shoot out and provide support for their teammates. So La Bahia really forcing Northblood's hand there, and you can see the really high tier meta play coming out from that squad, which is what we expected from the first place team from group stages. It's been a little bit of a slow start for them so far, but looks like they're turning things around here. They are in 3rd place overall with 21 points. It's just been a little bit overshadowed by a certain other team.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're probably actually considering how the lobbies have gone. They're tracking pretty well, right? But, I mean, even if it's a slow start, if they can come online now, use this as potentially a catalyst to maybe at least have a good game here in game 3. or at least going forwards, right? You need those confidence boosters after a slow start, and winning out team fights like that is a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, you got to ask the question, right? How long can Invalidos keep up this blistering pace that they've set for themselves in the first two games? They've obviously given themselves a very, very healthy lead, which kind of opens them up to play however they want, really. They can play with reckless abandon should they decide to do that. But, eventually somebody might catch up with them.
I was going to say they look a little more grounded this time around, Boris. So whether or not it was a little exhausting to keep that pace up, so maybe they're just looking to coast through here in game 3. But at least this, I don't want to say it feels a little more passive, but they're definitely looking a little more grounded here in terms of their position, the compound. Maybe just looking for a read from the circle, or waiting for that third party opportunity once again, which I think is their big swing factor, right? When they feel comfortable that other teams are under pressure, maybe they just feel better about cleaning up fights instead of just full on engaging in team fights.
I think slowing down here just a little bit as everybody's just kind of waiting for the next few circles. Going back, and I'm looking at my Invalidos cheat sheet here, and now that we have cut over to Bermuda, this is actually their best map overall. Highest average placement, tons of kills on this map.
Well, I tell you what, that makes game 1 and 2 even scarier. Then
it does, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, now that
they've set the bar pretty high coming into their best map, then.
Yeah. Well, and look, I mean, they're kind of in this position on the edge, waiting for somebody to wrap around. Looks like Skullbreaker's going to be the ones to do it as we check IT official Wasaka. Yeah, Skullbreaker.
Somewhere else.
This is terrifying stuff, isn't
Please.
it? They're going to do their best. We have high hopes for Skullbreakers, but
I mean, the other thing is now is that you see the Invalidos names in the kill feed, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, let's find something else. Let's head the other direction. Actually, it looks like the way they're playing this, it looks like they've maybe spotted out a player or two here, Port.
Yeah, you can see
just
that
looking to third person the ridge.
Yes, either they spotted somebody or Spidey senses.
They got to be careful. Look at Silence and Jury.
Oh, yep, the Jury going to actually take the first shots and going to land. Get those glue walls to come out here. As Invalidos, they had the 2-2 split, had somebody from the side flank here, but Xeno gets taken pretty low. You can see Mex and Xeno, they just want to get right in their faces. Like, they're using the glue walls just to get right up in there. Grenade will come out. We've seen some successful grenades from Xeno already. That one not going to find it, but Mex now. Curious to see Mex with a long-range weapon. Usually I'm used to seeing them run around with those double vectors like right up in their faces, but maybe the loot not going their way. But he's landing them, though, isn't he?
So the big thing here would be to see the time turner use from Mex. That's what I'm looking out for here. It's like you said, especially with no close range, at least. They do try and close the distance, at least. And this feels like Invalidos, I guess, pressuring, poking, making sure Skullbreakers maybe reconsider pushing towards the compound. And they've done just that. They've almost herded them away from their position. Invalidos demonstrating a bit of restraint, which is almost, I mean, blasphemous considering game 1 and game 2's performance.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that we didn't see them push out.
The setup was perfect as well with Jury and Silence. They you see, it's almost like the contingency, right? It's the safety net. And they're in the right place at the right time to spot out the push from Skullbreaker.
I think, what I think it was, I think they tried to, and you could see they started having the glue walls down. You could see Mex and Xeno was starting to make their way out, but Xeno took a little bit of damage. Skullbreakers never took a knock. That was the biggest thing. Never took a knock, so they were able to just disengage off of that fight completely, break line of sight, and dip on out. So they made a very, very quick decision to realize that they were just in a bad spot right there, and they didn't want any part of it. So good work on Skullbreaker's part, and good, what can you say about Invalidos, but, good restraint, I guess.
Good restraint. Very good restraint, yes.
Which I wouldn't have thought I would say about that squad, honestly.
Is that on the bingo card?
Invalidos restraint, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll put it there. We'll have to put it there. It's not gonna be the center square for sure. You don't get that one for free. as the circle will pop up. It's going to go in between Hangar and Clock Tower. Wasaka IT official, Team Money all sitting pretty nicely here. Skullbreakers, though, that wrap, they came from the north side. They left Invalidos and ran right into La Bahia. It went from horrible to probably equally as bad.
Out of the frying pan, there's a saying somewhere. We'll actually be able to reset initially, get 4 back on their feet, and La Bahia now reconsider, obviously, due to unforeseen circumstances. So don't want to engage in this too hard.
Well, now cut back over to Invalidos. They had to make their way over to the east, and they spot out Osaka from range. So now you're in that kind of weird spot here. IT official actually picking up a few kills there. We can see in the kill feed. Osaka now, like both of these teams, it feels like is in a weird spot. So Osaka going to cross the river, just get in there, get into zone. But you can see IT officials just kind of chilling on the edge of the city. They know somebody's coming, but they haven't really spotted out where.
You see 500 just kind of jump peek in the ridge here. And decent information. Silent's actually going to find a pick as well. And this is the thing, you talk about not giving away a knock earlier. This is the green light now. Invalidos smell blood, and you can see them already closing the distance.
Yeah, they didn't like the fight with Osaka on the south side, but they're going to find Skullbreakers. Maxima goes down, and Skullbreakers, they have just been pinned outside. They ran into Invalidos, decided to dip, ran into La Bahia, decided to dip, and now they're back in range of Invalidos again. So Skullbreakers, it is just, this has been tough. This has been a tough game for them.
It has, yeah, and again, actually in a position where they could get gate kept here, but Osaka actually coming out here, a little bit of pressure onto Invalidos. We'll see now what they're made of. They can now, I get forced to take this fight, at least with the circle and the positioning here.
This is Invalidos with their backs literally up against the wall, as Osaka will try to use those ridges, try to use those glue walls, get a little closer, get into grenade range. But once you're in grenade range, you are in grenade range, them as well as Invalidos. Oxino will find the opening knock with that grenade. Mex is doing it again. He uses the time turner. He gets just right in their faces. Dude. He's like, I don't care if I go down. I'm taking 3 of you with me. Mex just go. Unbelievable stuff from this guy. Luis goes down as well. Invalidos.
No way, man.
This is just unbelievable display of power from Invalidos. But now La Bahia, they heard that fight going on. They know what's up,
and they want to try and punish here when the res comes. So silence. What? Silence.
Oh my God!
Kairos.
Silence.
That's going to slow down the push.
Silence from range. Mex and Axino from close up. Jury enjoying the ride, I guess. I don't know, but this whole team is just operating on all cylinders right now. They're going to find another knock, as La Bahia wanted this fight. They pushed in. They thought that they could third party, and they are getting absolutely worked yet again. Oh my God.
That's insane. They've just gone to from 0 to 10 kills in the space of like 2 minutes. It's absolutely insane. And I was saying they were playing a little passively here. And actually now look at Jury trying to punish the last members of Skullbreaker here. Actually, Silent's going to get knocked in. Look at this. IT coming through.
I mean, you see Invalidos in the kill feed. If you have an idea where that fight is, you go and third party that as quickly as possible, because you know who the raid boss of this lobby is, who the boss of this gym is. IT official MVPs and Patrono, they're looking around trying to find Mex. Mex going to try to get those heals off as quickly as possible. You can see they're getting, there you go, Axino. Where is he actually?
Is he still down the coast?
No,
down the minimap. He's playing circle.
That's the official. Okay, yeah. There we go. He's on the tree. Invalidos, Mex going to push in again. He's going to do a bunch of damage, but no, goes down. MVPs will be the one that does it. Axino now here to provide some cover, but Grozero from range will find it, and that is the raid boss down. And now that has opened things up for all these teams here.
I mean, it has, but 10 kills now in 5th place is still going to put up a decent amount of points for them. So there is a chance for, I guess, somebody to close the distance, but still a comfortable performance on a bad game from Invalidos.
10 kills on a bad game. 10 kills on a 5th. Why not? This is Wasaka. Ooh, Jonah going to find another. as he's doing work with that ranged weapon. But the problem for Wasaka right now, I mean, they're just trading back and forth with Fuego. Fuego just refusing to go down without a fight. They are being very, very difficult. And IT Official, meanwhile, 3 up from the other side of the road. They have all day long to just sit here and pick these guys apart. As it looks like Fuego will go down. Wasaka now just getting picked. Yeah, Patrona got the grenade launcher in hand, and it is just doing absolute destruction. Grazero, nice grenade comes through from him. Doesn't find the knock, and now it's down to Grazero and Victor. And they keep it alive. Grazero going to try to go to the hard cover. Trimble pushing with the shotty in hand. He's going to try to get it. Victor, there it is. Trimble gets both of them. Oh my gosh. Back-to-back shots. Trimble with the shotty. And that is going to be a nice, clean victory from IT Official.
Really, really interesting game. Again, leave the door open there. And actually, it's important that the win comes through with double digits kills. And like I said, there's an opportunity to close the distance. That's when you want to see some team. That needs to be kind of the spark, right, in terms of picking up the slack and making sure that you make those games count. Again, Invalido's fantastic performance once again. I think they're probably victims of their own success. I think you're absolutely right. They see in the kill feed, I mean, 2 or 3 teams see in the kill feed what's going on, and they make absolutely sure that Invalidos don't advance any further.
I mean, this is a game where 3rd and 4th and 5th parties happen all the time, regardless of who's in what position. And just having that big of a lead over everybody else in the lobby is just going to put an even bigger target on your back. But so far, they've been responding well. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk. Get us to wrap us up for our first half of the day.
Thank you very much. I won't say that IT's win invalidates the previous performance by our top lobby winners, but it gets very close to taking it away. And honestly, they did it on a third party. As we go back and check out the replays in just a second, Twiggy, the question we asked at the start of this is, how does one defeat the juggernaut that is Invalidos after the last game? And I guess the answer is third party.
Yeah, it's great adaptation from IT Official. They did do really well during the LCQs with similar strats. Very good, kind of working out what teams they need to be focusing on, working out how they can build up to those fights. And really good from IT Official to really just take advantage of the situation that Invalidos were in. Just making sure that off that third party, they were still reeling from that, not quite loss. I mean, they didn't lose any players, but they just, weren't quite prepared for that next fight to happen. IT Official pushed in, got those kills, and this is much more what we were seeing from, like, the end of the LCQs from them. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. I will also say, Invalidos was a bit quieter. As we look at these early game highlights, there wasn't a lot of INV in it, but that was because here on this map, they drop a little farther away over at Observatory. So everyone else got a chance to fight early before they got involved. And even with that sort of late joining of the chaos, they came away with 10 freaking kills.
Yeah, I mean, they put best the casters I fucking Poro there. They did put it really well, but they were described as a vanilla team, and this game definitely was much more that pace. They were definitely looking like they're sitting on the top of the leaderboard. They by a long way as well. They can just sit back. They can, if they get more than 5 points, it's an okay game for them. And managing to get 10 kills on top of the 6 placement points they got. Playing it safely towards the start, and then just making sure they rallied those points together, and they're going to finish second in the points on this game.
IT Official takes first place, 13 kills, very nicely played, 25 points on the come away. The second highest point earner was Invalidos, 10 kills in a fifth, other than sounding like a hunting party in the Upper Peninsula when I was in college, is still unable to be stopped. 16 points, and we're, like you said, if they can get 5 per match, this may be the end of the tournament already. Like, these guys are nigh unstoppable, and even when they get out in 5th place, they're still racking it up. Let's take a look at the overall kill count. And this one's a little more interesting. We got Trimble with 7, but then all of Invalidos basically spread out the love this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot more. Axino, he's done his part. He's got those 10 kills in one game. Trimble, a brilliant game from him. Still not scratching the surface. Needs another 3 to match Axino's points from the last game there. So, I mean, what can you do at this point? IT Official putting together an amazing game and still not quite just pushing to that height that Invalidos got. So I feel like definitely Exino sitting back a little bit, letting the rest of the team kind of enjoy the fruits of their labor for those first games, and still now 25 points ahead of IT Official, who move up to second place.
Now, shout out to IT Official and Wasaka. Both of these teams came in through the last chance qualifier and are currently in second and third, particularly IT Official, who is the only team that score isn't essentially being doubled by Invalidos right now. So I guess that's the value of an LCQ. You could see some of these teams who maybe got a ride deal in groups coming through and learning something and getting better.
Yeah, I mean, also they had a little more, just one day, but a little more official tournament time to get used to the meta change in the time turner and, you know, all the other patches that were made specifically to shotguns. There was a big patch to that right at the end of LCQs, so they definitely did get a little more kind of almost official scrim time in with that one, and a lot more competitive. LCQs was a super competitive, super tight bracket, so yeah, you can see that coming through on this one for sure.
Let's look at the side-by-side of our winners of that match, as well as our leaders in the lobby in general. And really, I think that the average kills up there on top sums it up. Average placement, the same. Booyahs, the same. Average kills, more than double. Invalidos Esports is just living on a plane of existence the rest of us can only hope to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers are just... 14.3 is unreal. You wouldn't expect to drop that on your best of days in ladder, and that is absolutely insane. Obviously, same booyahs, but still 43 kills to 18 on that one. An IT Official are the closest anybody is right now to their space on that leaderboard. So just insane.
That said, though, we saw the chink in the armor, the hole above the heart, that just the right shot, the right hobbit, the right attack could break through and find a way to slay the dragon that is Invalidos. We will find out after a short break. We're gone for about 10 minutes. Let our players breathe after the chaos of the last 3 games. Back with the final 3. Don't go anywhere.
A storm is brewing off the coast of the continent and is continuing to grow in intensity. We will keep you posted on its status and when it's expected to make landfall.
He's dead.
That was close.
Hi survivors, welcome to the Free Fire Pro Series for North America. Participants will get the chance to showcase their skills and compete for their share of the $50,000 prize pool. This inaugural season will take place across 3 months in 4 unique phases: the Open Qualifier, the Group Stage, the Last Chance Qualifier, and the Finals. Teams will accumulate points throughout each of these stages, resetting for everyone at the start of each new phase. We will kick things off in the Open Qualifier. Teams from across the entire North American region will be split into lobbies of 12 teams, where survivors will battle it out for 6 games to earn their place in the next round. teams will be awarded points for their in-game performance, including points for their final placement in the lobby, as well as their kills throughout the games. At the end of these games, the top teams from each lobby will move on to the round of 96. This round will feature new lobbies and 6 more games for each team. The teams that finish in the top 6 for their lobby will move on to a final qualifier round of 48, after which only 24 teams will be left standing to move on to group stage. The group stage will be comprised of a 3-week season, with 2 game days each weekend. The teams promoted from the open qualifier will be placed into 4 groups of 6 teams each. Throughout the season, these groups will be paired on game days in a round-robin format, so that each group will face off against every other group in a 12-team lobby at least once. At the conclusion of the group stage, the top 8 teams from this stage will qualify directly to the finals. The bottom 4 teams in the overall standings will be dropped from the tournament, and the remaining teams will move on to the Last Chance qualifier. The Last Chance qualifier will see the teams placed 9th through 20th from the group stage compete in their final opportunity to qualify for the finals. Their bouts will take place over the course of 2 game days, with 6 games per day, all in a final bid to earn their shot at the championship. After this intense LCQ stage, only the teams in the top 4 will be able to move on to the finals. To cap things off, our grand finals will take place over the span of 3 days, with the top 12 teams from the tournament playing 6 games every day for a grand total of 18. Here, teams must go all out to earn points and stake their claim as the inaugural Free Fire Pro Series champions. At the end of the 3 game days, the 12th finalists will receive their share of the $50,000 prize pool, and a North American champion will be crowned.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again. Thank you for sticking with us through that short break. We've had 3 games in the books so far, and it has been all the Invalido show. Despite we've had 2 other game winners, but I mean, what are you even talking about except for the performance of those boys?
I mean, so much so that I can barely remember them, Par. That's how much the headline has been Invalidos here. Again, it's a slower game previously there, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do like slow down now. I guess now that they've secured the bounties, right? That was obviously the main objective in game 1 and 2 is to secure some of the bounties, right?
I mean, you want to talk about the bounties? All right, so we talked about the bounties a little bit at the top of the show, but you do have Kill Machine. There are $500 prize bounties for Kill Machine, which is the player with the highest total kills, Lethal Killer, which is most kills in a single game. Okay,
AKA
we talk about
Xeno.
Xeno has 20 kills. The second place team in kills has 18.
Yeah.
Xeno has more kills than every other team in this lobby.
Yeah. I mean, there's no words. I'll just keep saying yeah until you bring up another point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. So we got one more game on Bermuda here before we switch over to Kalahari. It looks like Invalido's going north again, but there's going to be a hot drop going on just off to their south, North Blood and La Onu. And I would not be at all surprised to see Invalidos just come and clean up whatever's left off of this. So you boys better hope that you get some good loot off this, really, and clean it up quickly, man.
Hope for some good loot and hope that this is concluded very quickly, yes, because these are 8 juicy kill points for Xeno and crew.
Oh, they'll run in too. You can see Elite 7 took a little bit of damage, as it looks like most of North Blood. We got another one too. R15 again. Oh no! Don't lose Dalen. Don't let him go down. Oh goodness. Well.
Oh no! Kathy's helpful as well.
Stop giving this man 1v1s. Oh, R15, what are you doing? Booby. Spectral out of his mind.
The other 2 split as well. That's Yeah, again, you can't be giving 1v1s in that scenario. If you're going to drop 2-2 like this and split a little bit and try and kind of, I guess, maximize your looting pattern, you got to make sure that the trades are possible. But actually, the Northblood fight's kicking off as well.
It sure is, and you can see on the mini-map, Invalido's already over here. This sneaky Bushmans will come up, and he will find the knock on to Kelvin as this fight is taking its time. But look, you can see Invalido's just dropping down on top of them right now. They want as many of these points as they can get. Northblood does lose boss. Elite 7 is low, and it looks like Laonu had one try to escape, but he's going to run right into the Invalidos duo. Prince now the last one remaining. Axino going to do some more damage, add it to his total. Doesn't get the knock just yet, and it looks like he didn't spot out the other player. Meanwhile, Club 9D getting taken down by Fuego. So that is it for them in game number 4.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of an overlap far down on the southeast, if I'm not mistaken. So actually, a bit of an aggressive push through here. Blester got to be careful. Lots of damage coming through from mechs. Valido's only finding 2 of these so far, but there you go. Silent's going to find Blester. And just a matter of time, I would imagine. Oh, actually, no, I think I remember in Northblood, you can see in the distance that it managed to slip away. So, I mean, do the best you can, right? Deny the 4th kill from coming through.
Yeah, Esteban dipped out on this weeks ago. I mean, he is way down the coast right now. He may actually run into the last duo of R15, but for now, he's going to at least avoid the Invalidos death ball as they're going to loot up a little bit more. Prince escaped as well for Laonu, so 2 solos still remaining from that hot drop at Observatory.
Fuego on fire. Look at this.
Yeah.
They've already got themselves 4 kills already. They lose Calvin for it, but again, lots of teams active in the early game here. Again, Fuego, yeah, I was right. It was down towards the southeast, that overlap initially with 9D. They are the victors, even though they lose one on the way, but lots of space to rotate into. In this scenario, the saving grace being that they've got no second hurdle to cross, at least to make it into the first circle. So whether or not we're going to see them, again, send it a little closer to center, but they've definitely got themselves a good stepping stone here in the early game.
Absolutely, and Fuego actually is kind of been doing that. They did that last game as well. They just kind of have control over that island. Obviously, we've been kind of distracted because multiple hot drops going on, but they had to fight their way through the early game last time, and they actually came out on top. Now again, they took some casualties for it. I'd love to see Fuego be able to take that early fight and not lose anybody. Meanwhile, Team Money going to try to leave the compound here, and they're going to run right into Osaka. Luis going to do some damage, take some in return. Alcalde has gone down already, and now the grenades are going to come out. Well, that could be good.
Ooh, it looked good initially. Yeah, Rubio actually avoids most of that damage.
This is word from Osaka. I mean, they're just playing this ridge line, right? They're just multiple lines of sight here, but the problem here is that Team Money has that hard cover, has the walls that they can play. They can just kind of dip around. So I don't think this is a fight Osaka necessarily really wants. If they can't get the opening knock, then it's not really worth, and it looks like they're just going to dip on out.
I think actually that there is a chance there if they don't trade knocks initially, then maybe one team can make a decision based on that. But with the timing here, I think as well, probably best to just reassess the situation. They have a little bit of space down to the southeast, as you can see here. Maybe just going to opt to try and rotate around this, just navigate their way into the circle, or at least towards a little bit more safety. I would say overcooking it a little bit, though, to be honest with you.
I'm looking off to the north side here. Invalidos actually sending the jump pads. They're going right into the middle of Skullbreakers. It looks like they actually caught out Maxima. As Maxima playing that roof. I don't know if Invalidos knew that they were here, and Maxima going to find Axino from the top. He's going to get the knock and the flush. So Skullbreakers, I guess we're trying to get taken by surprise by Invalidos, and they actually flipped the script on him here a little bit. But Invalidos with 3 up, still terrifying prospect. Is Jury going to get taken down by Maxima? But Maxima, his job is done. He has managed to get 2 big knocks in silence. We'll get the flush on him. Looks like they should be able to get the res back up Skullbreakers, though. Do you push this?
When you say it's Invalidos, no, I'm hightailing out there. Especially with the blue coming in. This is an awkward position to be in here. Next actually going to find Polonki along the outside of that wall here. It's looking as if Skullbreakers initially want to try and entertain it.
Oh, meanwhile, another fight going on. La Bahia and IT Official. This is our second and fourth place teams as MVPs and Saji have already gone down. Trimble's going to go down as well. Patrona going to go down now as well. And IT official just like that will lose the fight to La Bahia. La Bahia does take one knock, but now here you go. Invalido's trying to make the push onto Skullbreakers, but Mex is going to go down. And now Jury going to have to pull back off as Silence is just kind of giving overwatch to all of this. And looks like Invalido's just going to play it, try to escape and just play it as 2.
This is I guess a little uncharacteristic so far this evening for them to not be all in on the fight, right? Not everybody pushing as a collective, so that's why I've seen a couple of victims there on the side of an Invalidos.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what they're. Well, we'll touch on it in a second, but here, if Osaka going to push right onto R15, the last duo, Roba will stay alive. He's got that shotty in hand. We'll find the initial knock onto 500, get the res here, though, and it's going to be one left up now for R15. And Beastia is well away from this off to the north. But yeah, no, we're talking about Skullbreakers. They won the fight, and then they took the jump pad and went off to the north again, outside of circle. And, you know, they have been just kind of wrapping around on that south side, just making their way into the zone. This time it looked like they were maybe hunting a little bit. I don't know if they just saw Skullbreakers, caught him out from a distance. Silence going to land some big shots here as Jury going to make the push with the sickle in hand, the scythe in hand, and he's going to find both of them. Cleaning up 2 from Skullbreakers. 7 kills for Invalidos.
Like I said, man, if you're bad games with this kill stack, especially when you have the lead already, and actually Silence finds the last one as well. We'll find his quadra. I mean, what do you say at this point? It's, yeah, cool, you've done your hard work, right? At this point, right, considering the other teams in this lobby and tracking kind of, I guess, that middle ground in terms of the points, this is already a better game than most people, Poro. In terms of the bar being set so low, Invalido's still outperforming the majority. If they can get anything else done as a duo, I mean, fair play to them. Everything now is a bonus, right?
It's just ridiculous what they've been able to do so far. And the fact that they're doing it in a grand finals lobby. I mean, you're not supposed to be able to get away with stuff like this in a grand finals lobby, and they are just making it look easy right now. As you can see, they're still eating a little bit of zone damage. Fuego going to come in from that south side after cleaning up on that southern island. They've got 3 up, and they've got a pretty easy rotation into this next zone. You can see Money just holding down Clock Tower. That is pretty much what you'd expect to find them. La Bahia, the same thing. Dead center circle, compound, 4 deep. Everybody else going to have to make their way in. Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope nobody tries to rotate past this. That's a firing squad setup, and it's even like scenarios like this. If you're just a little bit split, the spacing and rotation isn't right. This is when you can get punished one by one. And again, glue walls aren't necessarily going to bail you out of the situation either.
Yeah, I mean, if you're new to Free Fire, this is kind of a strat that you see quite a bit, right? You'll see the teams that will just they'll send 4 into the tower, they'll hold the top side, mostly because of those glue walls, right? You can and you can also spot people coming from range. So as long as you keep them from getting right underneath you and just grenading the hell out of you, you can do a lot of damage from holding 4 up in those towers. So it's definitely a viable strat here as we check in with Wasaka coming in from the north side.
A little bit of space to work with. See how they end up positioning again. 10 seconds until that circle starts closing. See Osaka making exactly the same move that they did earlier. And see Money still inside the same compound, at least over to the other side this time around. And I think they're going to allow safe passage for Osaka. Again, this is what I was talking about. They sort of overcooked it in peeling away from that initial fight. So I'm not sure, again, what the decision making was beyond that, but they're retracing their steps almost.
Yeah, doing a little bit. I think they realized that Team Money's going to be in that clock tower position. Trying to wrap around on the south side of this new zone was probably going to be a little bit more difficult. And so wrapping around on this north side where they've already been, they kind of assume that it's relatively clear up here. Although they do have the last player from R15 Beastia going to be coming in from the south side, and then they got the duo from Invalidos. It is Jury and Silence, so it's not Mex and Axino, but apparently Jury and Silence just as crazy, just as cracked.
Well, let's see it, right? I mean, the only thing that's left for them to do now is to win a game as either a solo or a duo.
Sure.
So all eyes on Invalido still, even though they've taken early casualties. Again, like I said, 8 kills, anything at this point. I mean, it's literally Axino and Mex. They have 1 kill between them. So this is literally the other half of Invalidos coming online, at least in this game. And feeling like they got a little more left to give, or at least left to show us in this game here, Poro.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Silence is pretty nuts with those ranged shots. With a scope in hand, he is landing some pretty dirty stuff from a distance. We'll see if that duo can make things happen. Meanwhile, Osaka, they're going to find their own watchtower to hold down in the new circle with Pop, and they're going to be in the middle of it, or well, relatively close to the middle of it. Is Osaka going to be okay? But Team Money going to have to leave their clock tower location. See if they run into La Bahia or Osaka. Is Beastie actually going to be taking shots from range at this?
Yeah, that's bold, but again,
solo,
maybe just,
outside
yeah,
of
maybe just looking for maybe one opportunity, I should say, to put something up here. Is, I mean, again, they've gone from struggle to struggle, really. So actually, the big thing now is there's a full team of 4 pushing towards him, looking as if they want to wrap that edge.
Eye on Fuego. They've got to make their way in from the southeastern side, but they're just kind of clearing their edges right now, making sure. I feel like this is Fuego just having no idea what's going on inside the circle. They just don't know where anybody is. No shots have been taken in forever. As looks like Team Money has spotted out Bestia. This might be it for our R15 solo player. Oh,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're gonna go down, at least make it stylish, right? Adelio landing a beautiful shot there, but look at this now. Actually, Silence and the rest of actually finding some damage from range here. But it's actually Osaka as well that are piling in. Money got 2 different teams piling on the pressure towards them in rotation.
Oh, this is bad. This is rough. As I mean, you can see Osaka just has free farm on this.
Yep.
Team Money going to try to retreat, maybe go back into the into that drainage ditch. Really, I mean, but the zone is here. I mean, look how much damage it's doing to Monkey. He's trying to make his way up. He's going to drop the blue wall, but yeah, you're not long for this world, my friend. And Jury actually going to find out Spectral. Monkey going to go down as well as oh yeah. It's Invalidos. They're like, we don't want to shoot the guys in the open. We want to hit the hard shots.
Yeah. Viola actually finds a little bit of safety, but it's not much to call home. And that's the problem. Like I said, we were talking about the setup earlier. Glue walls don't necessarily bail you out in that scenario. When there's wide open spaces, you have to cross the distance. It's literally a firing squad. That is actually insane.
And he's second.
He's second. What? What?
How much has Jury done? Good Lord, 9 kills already for Invalidos.
No way Jury's above, right?
Oh
surely.
My God.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's okay. So it's for
Thank
the
God
day.
for that.
For the
Thank
day.
God for that.
Oh my goodness. You know, look, we're fawning over Invalidos. I understand. I know it's.
I'm a stand. We have no choice.
We have no choice. If you want us to talk about your team, let them do the stuff that Invalidos is doing. It's absolutely nuts here. Is La Bahia actually going to find a knock onto? I'm not sure who that was, but meanwhile, Fuego, we've been kind of keeping an eye on them, making their wrap in. They kept this high ground, and they're actually going to use it. Dumadios will find a knock on a Spectral. Okay, so looks like La Bahia's find out Osaka's. Osaka's just getting ripped to shreds here. Don't shoot your own man in the head. Okay, there we go. We got it. We're good.
Yeah, no sweat. Osaka actually their watchtower strat ultimately leaves them now in a really tricky spot. The damage comes through. Everybody finding damage onto them here from over here from the high ground. And they actually reset there. I don't think it's possible to find that res. Surely the cross from the tree to the rock is treacherous, to say the least.
Yeah, 500 I think is basically just hoping that maybe Fuego will come down here and try to third party and distract La Bahia. The 2 kills do come through, so 500 just hiding behind the tree. La Bahia looks like they get the circle, so that's nice for them. Yeah, 500 just kind of sit there as Invalidos still alive, still in it, but Wasaka has him pinned against the wall.
I mean, it's actually only a 3v2 here. Saka only with a one-man advantage, so if Invalidos can make something work here with a knock, it could get really interesting, Poro.
You can see La Bahia starting to creep over here,
Ah,
and
Jury's
trying to take
down.
shots from the top, and the Glow's going to spot him. Silence still alive, going to take a few shots, but Victor will do the Batman drop down on top. Not going to land the shots, and there we go. Okay, there we go. We get it. Wasaka wins, but at what cost? They are absolutely getting pinned by La Bahia and Fuego as we've made it down to our top 3 teams.
Yeah, now La Bahia looking to hold out Wasaka. Actually, Glows will take a lot of damage, a boatload of damage, and get knocked here. The push comes through. Abrio will actually find Victor on the way up. It will slow things down once again, and La Bahia 4 strong now. In a really good position to hold on to this compound.
It's going to be huge for La Bahia. They need to get they would love to have a win on top of this. 10 kills. Yeah, this would be huge. And trying to catch up to Invalidos here as Damadillos will get the res. Get back up to 4 strong. They're going to crash down onto Grow Zero, but Grow Zero not going down without a fight. He's got the shotty in hand. We'll find Glows. Can he get another one for his trouble? No, he will not. La Bahia will get your win in game number 4.
Really well played there, being proactive, making sure that Wasaka can't come up the hillside, but also leaving a couple of bodies on the backside just to make sure that a couple of those stragglers, some of the solos left over on the other side are still considered. And actually, I think, just before updates, I'm not sure actually what the gap was, but that's a much needed game from arguably one of the favorites in the lobby, Poro.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you saw why basically this was bread and butter La Bahia from group stages, right? This is how they played it. They loot early. They don't get involved in too many fights early on. If they can disengage, they will. They just want to keep 4 up to the late game. That's the method, the thing. And so they managed to do that, and they do just area control. And that's what they were able to pull off this time around. But let's throw it over to our analyst desk to talk more about.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. La Bahia living up to the hype. They're going ahead and going after those booyahs, putting points on the board, and we'll focus on them, though I do believe that we're all aware that the looming shadow standing behind them will continue to be Invalidos. And I think, as Poro said during the broadcast, we're not talking about your team because, well, they're not as good as Invalidos is right now. But La Bahia getting close.
Yeah, I mean, they are kind of what I would call a TV dinner team. You know, they took a while to get warmed up, but once they get going, oof, that could be a good one. I mean, 10 points on average each game so far, but this time they really turned up the heat a little bit, brought it to every other team, and getting themselves a booyah for their troubles. Very, very good. Other teams that did well, obviously, we saw Wasaka right up to the end. So that was brilliant from them because they have been kind of sitting towards the top, but they've been falling off for the last few games. They really did need to try and get themselves back up to stay in contention. So, I mean, all round, a lot of the teams that really wanted those points did get them.
Yeah, it seems like Osaka's been taking these kind of early fights and doing relatively well, but not converting them into late game points. And so seeing them do that on this one was encouraging. We're currently 4 games into day 1. There's only 18 games to play. So, you know, the rubber's on the road here. It's time to actually put up the points that you need to win this thing. Warm-up time, you know, the TV dinner example, I think, is very good. But at some point, like, you've got to take that cellophane off and you got to go ahead and get after it. And so La Bahia does. 24 points is a big pickup for them. But yet again, Invalidos gets the second highest kill count in the lobby. They go out in 4th, but they put 10 kills on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like anything anyone can do can stop them from getting the results they need, because they are absolutely just turning the heat up no matter when they need to, because they dropped down to 2 members in mid-game there. We saw maybe a bit of a miscommunication as they were pushing, maybe just unfortunate timing. You saw one member pushing outside of the house they were in when they were up against Skullbreaker, and Skullbreaker took advantage of that, got 2 flushes on the team. That's their only 2 kills that game.
Yeah.
And Invalidos still brought it back. Got I think after that fight they're on 7 kills. They got another 3 with those 2 members still alive. Brought it to 17 points for the game. They're staying well ahead of the pack no matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Invalidos basically bold pushed Skullbreakers with the jump pads. They got caught in a fight inside of a building. It was the first time that Invalidos wasn't sort of together on a fight, and they lost 2. But then they went out to the flat ground, and absolutely the 2 players who were left put in a ton of work. I mean, how do you beat Invalidos? Because I mean, the only option is maybe with a stick while they're sleeping, because in the open, with a time turner, they seem completely unstoppable. Take a look at the kill counts. Domitios, great, 7 kills. But again, Silence and Jury right behind that, taking the 2 and 3 spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, Invalidos definitely kind of throwing it around this top kill leader role in their team. But I mean, this time Domitios getting on it, and he was what we considered the top fragger of the group stage, 60 kills. That was the number 1 for them. But again, they're just kind of being a little bit overshadowed by Invalidos, even when they do get that win, even when they're able to push towards the top of the leaderboard. They need so much more than this to win these games.
You say a little bit overshadowed. When I look at this scoreboard, it feels like a lunar eclipse. And Invalidos, 87 points. Laba, he is playing a great game, but 54. I mean, that is multiple games behind. Nobody's put up that many points. They can close this gap in 1 or 2. And as we add more games to the list, as less games are available to sort of make up points, that becomes far more difficult to sort of buy into. And I think we're seeing that with the way Invalidos is playing. Like, the fact that they did the jump pad attack, the fact that they got more aggressive, it's because they're A, confident, and B, they know that they have 2-3 bad games left in the hopper that they can have and still be in first place.
Yeah, I mean, look at the kills they have. It's more than La Bahia and IT Official combined. It's more than double La Bahia by themselves. There it is, the kills today so far. Axino leading by 8, and 4 Invalidos players are on here.
I mean, I think the reality is, like, let's look at this. Axino has 20 kills today. If we get a chance to go back to the overall leaderboard, we're going to see that he by himself has more kills than the teams in the top 3 and below have overall.
Yeah.
Like, that is wild to me. And the fact is, there's just not points that can be gotten by other teams because they're just being hoovered off the board by these top 3. And that is a very difficult thing to do. Now, that said, this is a game that has momentum. It is chaotic. It is fast-paced. The maps change. Is there something to be said? And I guess this is my philosophy. If I'm the other teams, I just try to hold on, do the best I can today, understand that they are just living in a special place. They ate something crazy this morning. Maybe tomorrow they won't sleep well or something, and then recover. I mean, is there anything else you can do besides just grit your teeth, knuckle down, and just maintain and hope tomorrow somebody breaks a finger?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't much more you can do. And Axino, he's got 20 kills. He's 8 kills ahead of the second top kill leader. And he hasn't really got more than 2 kills for 2 games now. That's how far ahead he is at this point. And I think for the other teams, it really is going to be this game of, okay, let's just sit back. We'll rewatch what happened yesterday overnight. We'll come back at them with a little more fire tomorrow. I think that's the best we can do.
Well, let's see which teams sit back and which teams put their best foot forward. It's time for Game 5, our penultimate match of the day, with our casting duo, Porosaurus and Hypoc.
Thank you very much, boys. And yes, we are getting ready to go into our second to last game of the day as the Invalidos steamroller continues to run, but La Bahia starting to show some signs of life here in the late day.
They are, yeah. It's good to see the gap is still, I guess, attainable. And the other thing is, well, 2 booyahs on the back of that as well. If they can kind of replicate that or maybe find another, that's going to make it much easier, because I would say Invalidos are letting off the gas a little bit, but we're definitely seeing a little bit of a contrast to the first 2 games at least.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it a little bit during the game, but it was interesting to see Invalidos' decision making that last game as they decided to kind of go back up to the north. Yeah. I'm not sure if they actually spotted out Skullbreakers and that was just a fight that they wanted to take, or if they were just trying to wrap back up to the north side, just had no idea and just landed right on top of the team. But either way, yeah, it changed a bit from what we were used to seeing them. But now we are on a whole new map. We're switching over to Kalahari for our last 2 games of the day. We'll see what Invalidos can bring here.
Well, straight away, look at this. Fuego and Osaka going to drop onto each other in the thick of it here. We'll see who gets the luck of the draw on the loot table.
It's always, isn't it? It's always the luck of the draw on these hot drops. Uziel going to go down for Fuego. They will continue the chase here. Don't find anybody, though, as Osaka managed to break line of sight here from the push. And now Alcalde, oh no! You should have gone with the rest of your team, bud. They will take him out, but Josh Ever going to get spotted out now as well, and you can see another fight going on in that kill feed between R15, as this will get a little bit of an oversight here. Osaka, looks like Luis was trying to dip out and maybe disengage from this, and now it's just down to Axel for Fuego.
I mean, that literally got flipped way back. It looked like Fuego had the upper hand initially here. The nade coming through could do a bit of damage. Look at that, it's huge! What?
Axel, the boy with the grenade, gets another kill, gets the re-knock onto Luis. He will get rezzed, and that's going to bring them back up to 2. But Axel wants more. He's going to go in, try to get some more of these kills.
I want to see him go for this.
I absolutely want to see this. He's looking to see if he can maybe find a little bit better gun, maybe. I'm not sure what he's doing, or just reposition, making himself a little bit more hard to find. 9D, meanwhile, engaging with Team Money. Team Money down to Rubio and Viola, and they're going to find another knock here. Domi going to take some big damage, but he'll find it with a jump peek onto Viola. Absolutely disgusting.
That was actually dirty. Viola going to get back on his feet here, try to close it out, and actually 9D will fall early. Again, I'm all about the theatrics there, but unfortunately, it counts to nothing. 9D get absolutely swept.
Oh boy. Well, okay, R15. Let's see what you can do against Invalidos. Look like they already lost Dalen. As now Doba gonna get knocked pretty low. Kathy gonna try to take shots from range. We'll find the knock on a silence. Nice stuff from him as he's got that bullet hose out. Doba gonna try to push in. He'll get a knock, but he immediately gets traded down, and now it's just down to Kathy. Gotta try to go up here and push while Mex and Jury are busy.
Should have res of Mex is gonna find it. Kathy just got that res off. Mex gonna find the second as well, and somehow Invalidos will keep 4 alive for it. There's a moment there where Kathy gets the res and they're able to flush that out and fully reset off that. But Mex, man, it's sharp as ever.
Like, at what point do you just see it in the kill feed and you're like, you know what?
Just go somewhere else.
This is just not the day.
Anywhere else.
It's not the day for it. Just let Invalidos have today to continue their dominance. Just don't let it be you. And don't let it be in the early game. Meanwhile, Onu, they've been getting involved in early fights all day long. They're going to find IT this time around. Big Shot's going to come on to MVPs. No knock comes through, though, as Onu, Kelvin, and Mario have the high ground. But IT Official just W keying right in the middle. Obviously, phones don't have W keys, but we're going to, that's it. It's the meme, right? Here we go. Kelvin, we got the shotgun. Get 5 Patrona. The push comes through. Sanji going to get knocked low. Trimble going to go down. Mario giving some good support, and no one going down as Patrona gets res. Kelvin just doing work with the shotty. Mario going to do it as well, and that is Onu. Have they won it? I think there's one left alive for IT Official.
Yeah. He tried to bail out there. It'll be Prince to close things out. Dude, Kelvin and Mario, the counter beaking there was actually beautiful on the rooftop. The glue wall comes down just at the right time.
So nice.
They're able to kind of almost bait each other, right? Or almost play off each other's contact there with the shotguns.
So nice. And Mario is just perfectly positioning himself to defend Kelvin as he was trying to hold the window. As Northblood, I feel like I just saw them throw a grenade towards La Onu, which was ambitious to say the least. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just memeing right now, or
that requires a certain arm. And I don't think Northblood are going to be able to find that one. But wow, what a start! What a start to game 5. I mean, at this rate, we should be done in about another 4.5 minutes, considering how many have fallen already. We're down to 8 teams, 25 alive here.
I mean, during
that's crazy.
It's wild. I will say, during the last chance qualifiers, the final game, I think, was down to just 3 teams in Circle 4. Like, these guys, whenever excellent news, right? Whenever they decide that they are ready to go and they want to get involved in fights, and they're just, let's just face plant into everything we can find here towards the end of the day, and they hit it, man. They do it with authority and commitment, and that's what you like to see. Meanwhile, Northblood will come in. Actually, they still have to cross the river. They've got Laonu that's pushing into them. Are they ready for this? Boss going to take a little bit of damage. It looks like they know now that Laonu is here. And look at that. Oh, that's a dirty angle for Esteban.
Free damage, yeah. That's some free damage.
No
way! Milo. Oh, he hesitated and he's punished for it. That's That's really tough to watch, Park.
That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. I mean, he had such a good off angle there, and he gets Prince will try to trade some damage back in the distance here. They should be able to get that res back up, right? They're going to try to get over to him. They're going to have the glue walls to do it, and Launu is going to reposition play around this hard cover. And yep, there you go. The res does come through. So Northblood back up 4.
Thank God.
Yeah,
that's one of those scenarios where you don't want to see that player get flushed. That would have been the cherry on top. Northblood actually going to bail out of this.
Yeah, why not?
I
mean, it's you're on the edge of the circle. You're inside circle, but I mean that's a fight that's going to take 3 years to ever come to a culmination, and you're probably going to take a lot of losses in the process. So why even bother? Just get out.
Yeah, they're not really fighting for that game-winning spot right now, and still an opportunity to maybe reassess the situation in a circle or two. Well, actually, Osaka down to 3, making, or at least finding landfall on the other side here. Again, lots of space to work with. Whether or not, again, 0 kills, down to 3. Don't expect them to be going ham like Invalidos, maybe. Maybe just try and ride this out. Again, looking as if they actually still kind of at least double checking for loot. Maybe not scrap looting, I guess, but almost still just conscious of double checking for loot, which is always an indicator that they're probably looking to slow things down. Maybe just hold on to the edge and make sure they got some space to breathe.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting coming from Osaka. I mean, they got here based off of their. I mean, they were a team that went into Refinery and basically held down Refinery against all comers. They ended up getting a couple of wins that way and playing a completely different play style this time around. I wonder if La Bahia maybe that intimidating that they don't even want to mess with it, as they know La Bahia is going to go towards the center here. Meanwhile, Onu pushing into Northblood again. The fight that just refuses to end this time. At least it's going to be taking place in a different location. We'll see if Northblood still wants to pull away from this, or they're ready to turn around and take the fight to Launu.
Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
It's still looking as if they just want to bail. As Launu actually closing the distance. They got a decent amount of information of at least 3 members of Northblood here.
You can only run
actually,
so far.
Blester on the other side got found.
Oh no. Okay, Milo again going to be the first one to get the opening knock here. Kelvin going to try to make the push. Will bush his way out of there, try to make himself invisible. Kelvin going to go down though. Prince going to try to come up. Oh, he's got a grenade in hand. This could be huge as Northblood is all kind of stacked on top of each other. The glue wall will defend him for the time being, but Northblood just holding the wall right now. There it is. Prince gonna find the Noke
and
with
another
the grenade,
one.
and another one comes through. And Northblood, they're stacking on top of each other. This is bad news bears. There's so many grenades, but nice one from Esteban in return. We'll find the opening knock. Milo gonna try to go for the res on the Prince, does get it, but immediately gets re-knocked by Esteban. Another grenade and the flush coming through. It is just throwable fiesta going on right now between Northblood and Launu.
Well, look at this. Blester and... Wait, no, Blester didn't get knocked. He actually gets flushed out of that, though. Again, still making them work for it. Mario and Prince now, last 2 to try and salvage something out of this team fight. Esteban looks like he's going to take a really, really interesting flank here. He's going for a nade.
Should try to see if he can maybe sneak a nade in there in between the glue walls. Blester actually going to spot out Prince, gets a knock, gets a flush. Now we'll take a little bit of damage. It's all down to Mario, but Mario's been doing work for Launu here. He's managed to land a whole lot of his shots. He's going to try to reposition. Maybe Blester needs to be careful here. You don't want to go too far away from the rest of your team and risk getting knocked and flushed. He's going to put a pause on things, pump the brakes. It looks like he will see Mario making that run, and Northblood just going to go ahead and reset, make their way in.
It's interesting there. I mean, Northblood's decision-making almost seemed a little scary at the point they just turn their backs right and try and run, but
yeah,
it's, the hunted becomes the hunter there as they turn around and absolutely stand their ground. Not afraid to fight for it, and this is interesting to disclose. I actually have an idea. No way. He has no clue.
The scythe coming through. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Getting a little fruity with it inside the shack.
It's almost got away with it.
I was praying he was still going to turn around there. Like there's a reality where he doesn't find that kill,
Yeah.
and that would have been one of the worst things ever caught on stream.
I mean, that scythe does disgusting amounts of damage, and I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't.
That he didn't
go
get the
down.
kill.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it in the group stage. There's a solo player holding a shack like that with a scythe managed to get a full team wipe. And I believe it was on IT Official, as somebody from Red Falcon, if I remember. I think it was Griffo. But yes, I mean, that scythe is absolutely devastating at close range. And oh my god, Xeno, just add another one. Why not? You greedy boy.
Right. Okay, Max. Okay, dude.
You know
this is
what?
what showboating looks like.
I think it might be.
Yeah. To slow things down, they still got 6 kills on the board.
Ooh.
Max back in the truck.
Silence just got knocked actually by Wasaka.
That's from distance.
Yeah, they are able to get that res, so it'll be okay. But I mean, I'm also kind of keeping a weather eye on Mario, our solo player there from.
I just want to watch. Yeah, I just want to watch Max. I'm gonna be honest.
Max hard crashing into things is probably one of my favorite things so far here today. As Wasaka just holding the hard cover here, but they cannot prevent.
They have to get in the circle though, Pora. They have to wrap in here.
They can't prevent the push here as Invalidos. The thing that's been so impressive to watch from Invalidos is the absolute certainty in their shot calling. They are not wasting any time. Every decision they make, they are just hard pushing into it. Jury gonna find the opening shot and then find the knock on a Jonah, as Silence will get the flush as well. Victor will find the re-knock on the Jury, or the trade rather. Mex will clean that up though. Jury should be able to get rezzed here as the time turner is down. Amatron though, very, very low. He's a breath away. He's gonna go down.
Not where you want to go. The last corner that he's desperately trying to find some relief, and
9 kills.
Waiting on the other end of it with a shotgun. Yeah, 9 kills. Just
Casual.
calm as you like.
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel like they've really broken sweat yet. Mech's actually going to get knocked as Lava here to try and third party, at least punish while they're still recovering from that previous engagement.
Oh, they absolutely
No flush
need
comes
to.
through, and actually Jury going to turn it around. Abreu gets knocked.
Ooh. I mean, this is exactly what Libya needs to do, though. I mean, you can't.
Do they push?
You've got to have.
They're pushing.
Oh, of course they are. Invalidos knows they got the knock. They're immediately going to push. Xeno is going to be the one leading the charge, because of course he is. As the grenades are going to come through, it's going to find Dios. He gets him as he's running away from the glue wall. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Jury will go down as Oxino going to be pushing in. Glows will do some damage. He'll find Jury. He'll get the knock. He'll get the flush. The trade's coming through. Oxino and Mex still alive. Invalidos has taken a bunch of damage, but they're already up to 11 kills. Mech's going to get taken from behind, but no, he switches it on him, and La Bahia has gone down to Invalidos up to 13 kills.
Actually, Northblood looking to pressure now once again before they can reset on the back of this. It's just 2 members now. Axino and Mex, the star players. Invalidos. See what they can do in this 2v3 with Northblood.
I mean, Northblood has all the time in the world to try to set themselves up, but Xeno again! The grenades from Xeno have been absolutely disgusting. Blester will try to get himself out of that as Boss has gone down. Can they even get the res on the Boss? I'm not even sure. Blester trying to hold them at bay. Mex will go down. Blester going to try to make the push onto Xeno. Will find some damage, but doesn't get the knock. And there it is. The grenade will be the one that does it, and Northblood gets the win, but holy moly, that was about as close as you're going to get.
It's still coming. Even there, when it looks like Invalidos are absolutely screwed, they still win out 2 team fights and then still contest for the end game. It's just absolutely insane. Mex, again, man, that guy close quarters is, I mean, head and shoulders above anybody else in this lobby right now.
It's ridiculous, man. Like he is Mex is chaos personified. I mean, he just gets right into the middle of your entire team, runs around,
thick of it,
dropping glue walls, dropping time turners, staying alive while the rest of his team just farms. And I mean, it's insane the work that Invalidos has been able to do today. But gotta give credit to Northblood. Big win for them. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to talk about game number 5.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and we'll talk about the winners in a second, but I do think that that's a nice point that the guys left off on. Mex and Axino are really a 1-2 punch. Axino's got this accuracy, this flick that is unrivaled, and Mex has this ability to find himself in the middle of the fight, to get in there and drop that time turner in a way that basically splits every single battle into a 2v4 at the very minimum. He sort of isolates and removes half the team so that his boys can come in and just do their work. It is a phenomenal skill to have, and the two of them just seem to complement each other perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, we're going to sound like a broken record when we keep saying this, but in Valdos, even when they're not winning, their fundamentals are so perfect. Their spatial awareness, they're able to just know exactly when they need to push, when they need to drop back, when they need to accelerate the fight. Plus, the trades they've been getting have been perfect. Ooh. Every time one of their members is dropped down, they come in, they trade that out, they make sure they can get the res off at the very least. Look at this right here when they push towards the window. You can see, gets dropped by one player, time turner goes down, they get him back up, they bring the fight back to Osaka and win the fight with no casualties whatsoever. It's perfect from them.
Absolutely. They seem to be unstoppable. They seem perfect at this point. I think they might fart gold dust for all I know, because these guys are legendary. That said, there was other interesting things that happened. You saw at the start of this, sort of New Blood and La ONU going head-to-head and turning into what our casters dubbed the longest running fight, because they literally ran away, but it worked out. Northblood ran long enough that ONU got distracted, and Northblood got themselves into a position to win this game. So 6 kills and 18 points is a big pickup for them, considering they're in 5th place with only 41, going, or a little bit less than that going into this. I think it was a 30 something. And now they can move up the ranks a little bit. But the problem continues and will continue to be Invalidos. 22 points, 13 kills. I'm not sure if they've had less than 10 per game. Like, these guys are insane.
Yeah, I mean, Northblood, they were on 23 points, so a 7th place before this game. So yeah, bringing it back up in now they're in 5th place off this one. So absolutely brilliant from them. And I did doubt them for a second as they were moving past. I thought they'd over-rotated a little too far. They'd gone past that hard cover, but they still brought the fight back to La ONU. I mean, it was really Esteban with the nades that just made this game happen for them. Absolutely brilliant from him. I think he got at least 4 kills just with nades alone, and absolutely beautiful. You can see, making his way free there. And I mean, but once again, it's even when they've only got 1 booyah in Valdos, and they still top the leaderboard every time in terms of kills, in terms of points. They just make sure that they're still at the top, no matter whether they get that booyah or not.
I mean, they're at the top, and I think that we saw that in that last game. Mex was driving around with a monster truck, which really, the monster truck sums up Invalidos. They're big, they're brutal, they are far from subtle right now because they're looking for the fights. We saw them going after teams continuously, and that's what's causing this rift. After only 5 games, Invalidos has 109 points, 66 kills. I mean, I could add up half the teams on the bottom and not get to 66. It is obscene because second place, La Bahia, who has been playing very well, Twiggy, has to almost double their points to catch up to them, and we're only 5 games in.
Yeah, let's quantify like this. Take a look at Skullbreaker down there in 10th place with 22 points. Invalidos has more than that in average points per game. 109, that's 22.25 per game. That's a great game for most teams without taking into account that they've done it 5 times in a row. Absolutely insane from them.
Absolutely wild. So let's take a look at the team. What? I don't want to. I don't want to. Can we not? Because
I feel a bit ill.
Oh my God. 13.2 average kills per game is wild. 1 booyah. But when you talk about the players, and I mean, we kind of, let's put this in perspective. When the tournament started today, we featured the team that's in second place right now, La Bahia, and talked about their top fragger who's been averaging just north of 3 kills per game, right? They've fallen off pretty significantly as Domitios is still at 2.8, which is very good. But when we go back to look at that Invalidos score count, every single player on that team breakdown is north of that 3. Every player is as impactful. I'm sorry, Silence and Jury at 2.8 and 2.4. Oh, watch out, boys. But every single person on that team is impactful enough that you could build a roster around them. This is all-stars in a foursome.
Yeah, that's the thing, is La Bahia hasn't technically really been doing that badly. They've kept up the same kind of metrics that they did during group stage, a 3.17 average finish on Kalahari. They've kept that up. They're still on that 3.5 or so average finish for this whole game, but it's just Invados has taken it a step further. They've gone up into space with that. More than 3 kills pretty much per player per round, plus they're getting a 2.5 average placement. It's unreal.
I was adding a skull to my shirt for every kill they got, and it's just becoming ridiculously gaudy because of the amount of takes they've gotten. It's time for game number 6. While we get ready to check this out, I want you to go check out hashtag 12 Days of Snoopmas, where we're giving away Z-Flips, Buds 2, an A8 tablet, and all of the goods, as well as a chance to chill with Snoop. So check it out as you check out our last match of the day with Porosaurus and Hook.
Thank you very much, Savis, as we are getting ready to head into our final game of the day. And yes, it has been the Invalito show. Every single player on that team has double-digit points, double-digit kills. There's only one other player in the entire lobby with double-digit kills, and that's Damadios from La Bahia. But, I mean, what do you even say about Invalitos? Can they keep this up?
I mean, I'm like scrambling for stats now, and I got one. I have got one for you, Poro. 109 points on day 1 for La Bahia was the best performance, right?
Right.
Invalidos have that with a game to spare. Which is just mad. And you think back to that day 1 group stage performance, and it's like that was insane to watch, right? As a whole, hold that point. We're going at it again, Skullbreaker this time.
Of course we are.
Of course we are. Let's see how this one goes.
I mean, okay. Skullbreaker, they're going to lose Maxima right off the back. Kirok's going to be the one that does the damage. Rayu going to try to find the knock onto Kyoba. He'll get it as well. Gets the flush onto Maxima. Duro. Halaki going to go down now. Duro, the last one up, and he is running around with his guitar, hoping and praying that he doesn't get spotted out, but I think he is not long for this world. La Bahia just cleaning up the hot drop as quick as you like. I am Bush.
Well, I am Bush. There's no
good thing you found that, at least.
Timing. Glows actually did spot him out there.
Oh, dear.
Showing a little bit of restraint.
He knows
now, well, yeah, he knows what he is.
Yeah, he's dropping the time turner.
He's playing with his food.
Yeah, he is. Glows, there he is. Takes the shots, and he'll finish him off.
Let him go, man. Come on.
No heart. No heart whatsoever. Meanwhile, Fuego again in an early game fight with this time it's going to be IT official as Trimble and Sanji knocked pretty low. MVPs as well. They're going to try to make the push up this hill, as I believe they've gotten is Fuego down to 3. It looks like they might be. Axel again. Fuego had a bunch of kills in the group stages. Axel had as many as anybody from Invalitos, but it's just been hot drop after hot drop for Fuego so far today. And look, why not? Why not have another one? It's game 6. Let's just hot drop everybody.
Game 6 scrims, right? This is what we come to expect. Oh, what the dog doing? See here is actually 9D gonna get themselves in a decent position. Domi actually opening things up there. Monkey gonna fall as well. Domi doing absolutely wonders here for 9D, but where's he gonna fall in response? If Adilio and Viola can get anything done.
Dio gonna find the last bullet into Domi as he almost broke line of sight. Monkey is Dio getting knocked. His exploit gonna find the nice little flank here. Is Team Money triple kill. Viola just gave that man the okie doke. He's like, oh yeah, I ran away, I promise. But no, I didn't run away. I was waiting behind the glue wall with a shotgun to put it into your face. As we're back to IFT official, looks like we've lost another Fuego member as Axel has gone down. It's now down to Joshua and Jeremy. IFT official dragging this one out, but man, they are cleaning up eventually. Maybe? Joshua?
Maybe? Please?
Bush? We find Sanji. That's a good opening knock there. Patrona tries to take the opening shot. Oh, Joshua, you can't do this. Okay, he gets 2. Jeremy trying to make the crash in. He wants to provide support. He's got the SMG on hand. He finds 1, drops the glue wall, finds Kitty. The second one, Treble goes down. Jeremy trying to keep it going, and he does. Jeremy, what a play.
I mean, what a time to show your hand in that team fight, but the hard work was already done. Actually, I'm hopping back over to this. Invalidos have pushed in. What's going on
have
here?
another
R15
fight.
are under pressure.
This is all we do. This is all we do in Game 6. We just fight. We fight everybody. Decathy gets res, so R15 back up to full strength here. There is a solo player here somewhere, I think, as Mech's going to try to do what Mech does, crash right into their faces. He's going to find one. Beastie will get the re-knock, though. And is that Invalidos done? They are. They're out.
I gotta pinch myself. Is this?
Yeah.
Is this
my
real life?
screen correct? How did that happen? R15. Let's go, boys.
Of all the teams to do it as well, the ones who have probably fallen short in so many team fights tonight, ultimately looking pretty comfortable there. And the important thing, they take no casualties. They remain as 4. They got themselves, I mean, look how much space they got to the north now. Loads of room to work with. Hopefully
So
now
much
we
room.
can see them convert that, because, like I said, it's not been a good night if you're an R15 fan.
I mean, looking at everything overall, Invalidos is out. La Bahia is down to just glows. So if you're a team that's trying to add some points to your overall point total in the final game of the day, this is the time to do it, man. The raid bosses are gone. Now is the time to start going out and hunting down all these other teams. I mean, you got to give credit to R15 as well. I mean, that's a team that has gotten 8 kills so far today, and they win the team fight against the,
Well,
let me go back and
exactly.
check, the 66 kill team. So a little bit of a confidence builder for R15.
We'll see how much R15 can close that. No, I'm joking. There's that. I tried to. We can't go with that. But,
Time to farm.
the second game here, though, but again, what, 5-minute mark last game? We were down to 8
Yeah.
teams, 26 alive. We're down to 7 teams, 21 alive now. See Glows in all the sightseeing, trying to find something to tuck himself into.
It's not a bad place to hide if you want
That
to
is,
stay alive as a solo.
Yeah, kind of feeling
got-
that. He's got the shotgun as well, so
Yeah. Anybody comes creeping around that column, boy, they're about to get a whole bunch of buckshot to the dome. As Wasaka, this is
I
so
really
this,
wonder. I really wonder where you're going with that one.
what?
really.
Come on, nah. We touched on it a little bit last game, but where Wasaka's playing on top of Refinery, that's where they found a whole bunch of success during last chance qualifier. So actually glad to see them back here for this game, as they tried to do that edge of circle thing. It didn't really work out for them last time around, but this time they're playing more to what got them here. R15, meanwhile, chests bowed out and completely.
Oh, yeah, they're feeling themselves
They're feeling
now.
themselves. They got a little bass in their voice right now as they kind of come through from that northern side. And there's just, I mean, they are the northernmost team, and there's nothing. And they're in like dead center circle.
I mean, this is the thing. If in the last game they were looking to bounce off any momentum, this, unfortunately, I guess in terms of the circumstance, right? It's not looking like they're going to be able to pick up too many more kills, at least not until the late game, or maybe unless anybody decides to go hunting up towards the north side. Northblood,
There we go.
3, 2, 1, you're back in the room.
And we're good.
Northblood coming into this, and particularly in the last two games of the day, I was really looking for them to pick up the slack as well. Again, sat in 5th overall, but certainly probably one of the front runners in this lobby.
Yeah.
What was it, 41 points overall before we started this one? So again, it probably buried within that cluster of teams that are, I guess, outside of contention right now for top 3. Although probably achievable here if you think about it, obviously with the situation further up the leaderboard, but they need to make something happen, man. We haven't really seen them look comfortable or confident in their decision making. We've sort of seen this half in, half out when team fights do break out. And again, it's pretty much been 50-50. Other than the previous game where I think they were able to flip a situation on its head, which was really well played.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be your win condition, right? You look towards kind of repeatable success, and that just ain't it.
Yeah, and I mean, that was kind of Northblood's bread and butter in the group stages. I mean, we were seeing them get 75-point days the last 2 days in a row. I mean,
edge-heavy
great
team
stuff.
as well, man. Like they're
God,
ones
the
that
circle.
thrive in that situation. I mean, the circle and all the teams as well, but everybody's going to die on the south there. Literally everyone.
Nobody was expecting this to go north.
No.
Everybody was thinking this was going refinery, and the circle just
Onu
hard
is
shifts
the
away.
furthest north team. What?
And they're holding edge. This is insane. Okay, R15 on the move once again. They've got Fuego now just to their north, though, so they may run into each other. You can see Joshua and Jeremy also feeling a little bit confident after the nice little clutch out from the fight that they had, but they are down to 2, so a little bit more difficult for them. As we see R15 wrapping around on the south side into Refinery, where Viola from Team Money has run into Wasaka.
There's actually 5 kills on the board already as well, so a decent starting point here for the third place team. A decent position, as you already said. It's R15 now. The boys that are feeling themselves charging up the hillside. Do they look to contest this, though? It's tricky to get situated up on the top, and actually the trade comes through. Kathy and Jonah, respectively, finding knocks. See what the knock-on effect is from that.
Okay. Istia will get rezzed. I imagine Jonah will be rezzed as well.
This flank, though, this flank just up to the top right of the screen here. So, yeah, Noba's who I'm looking towards.
Oh, yeah.
Do some damage up here.
Gotta be careful. Don't give it away until you know for sure you can get that
He
knock
dropped
and
off.
flush. As he pulls back down, Victor. Don't know. I don't think he knows how close he just came to getting absolutely destroyed here. But R15 going to keep it grouped up on the bottom side, while Wasaka will hold down on the top. Now Victor in that really dirty position here for the flank. Decathy going to get another knock on a Comatron, as Comatron gets kind of caught out a little bit here. Blue wall will come down to try to prevent the flush, but Jonah just shoot it down. Maybe try to go and get that res.
Decent opportunity to reset on both sides here.
Mm-hmm.
Comatron got to be wary of the re-knock, but yeah, you can see there he does get healed up. As you see Northblood light up the kill feed elsewhere, Victor just catches a glimpse of the jump pad through here, and actually all 4 members of R15 will be able to slip away here.
Like it.
And actually probably become the furthest northern team with that rotation.
They absolutely are. They just landed dead center of the next circle. R15 with the 5-head rotation. That is a very convenient jump pad, and very well played jump pad here. Is Wasaka? They're running around looking for any snakes that might be hiding, but they're not going to spot out Glows. Glows is way
Surely
down
not.
here.
Surely not.
Unless they drop right on his forehead. Well, meanwhile, R15 going to find Northblood as okay, yeah, Glows does
Found
get
Glows.
spotted.
Oh no, man.
Oh, unfortunate. But Blester will find the knock onto Bestia. That should be a res here for Decathy. Is Northblood? Oh my God, the nade from Esteban, nicely placed there. As maybe R15 a little bit too comfortable with their position here on the high ground. Blester will take some more damage. Elite 7 going to try to go for the wrap around, but nice shots from Dalen will take him down.
Really nice shots there. Now, actually, Blester looking to potentially get a peek on the ridge there, but no option gets it. Look at it. Look who's backfilled them now. Wasaka also taking the jump pad rotation. And again, they've seen this in the kill feed. They know. Got an
Absolutely.
opportunity. At least capitalize on position here. Whether they opt to further punish, maybe even third party this fight.
I mean, it's 4 teams remaining, and it's still Circle 3. This is Game 6. This is what happens in Game 6, chat.
Hey, everybody got dinner plans, I guess.
Everybody wants to make sure this thing's wrapped up as quickly as possible. But Wasaka 4 strong, they're looking pretty good. Laonu 4 up, and they are kind of in the center here. They're hunting around, seeing if they can maybe find the last duo from R15, and then you've got the solo player Blester from Northblood, who's still hanging out on that south side. Wasaka gonna get the circle. Everything's looking up really nice for them. Laonu gonna take a knock right off the bat here, though. R15, they still got plenty of throwables and utility left to use. The return will come through. Doba gonna take some damage. We'll have to reposition, and they should be able to get the res on Kelvin, though, so good reset coming in from Laonu.
R15 just want to try and maneuver themselves out of this fight almost. Again, this is the point where as R15, you're just praying for a third party, praying somebody's close by, but I only want to pile on the pressure here. Kelvin looking very curious, and I think Milo has actually spotted out this rotation, tries to find a little damage, but Nothing to write home about. And now with the circle moving,
Uh-oh.
they've changed their priorities. But as I say that, Prince actually picked off. Osaka still looking active. There's 7 on the board right now for them. And
They need to be,
I mean,
don't
look
they?
at the minimap. Look at the minimap. They have a really good opportunity to output so much pressure to anybody coming into the circle.
Osaka in 3rd place overall going into this with 51 points. Invalidos in 1st with more than double that. So Osaka needs to collect as many of these kills as possible. It's not enough to just sit there and get the win. You want to try to get as many of these points as you can while you have the opportunity, a good opportunity like they have right now. See, Dalen knocked very, very low, is picked out here a little bit. Doba going to find the knock on Milo, though. And now that is it. Laonu gets finished off, and now it's just Wasaka down to Doba. Doba going to go for the res, or is he dying? No, okay, yeah, he's going for the res. I thought, it's like, is he dying to
They
blue?
push this? It's a
they have
1v4. Yeah, it's a 1v4 right now. And actually, R15 will get both back up on their feet. Wasaka just kind of
Get the circle
biding
again.
their
Why not?
time almost. Well, yeah, let's see another circle, boys. Let's just wait this one out.
I mean, getting the win is obviously great for Wasaka here. Well, if they get it, they still got some work to do for sure. But Camacho actually going to take some damage from Dalen there, and
Gotta be careful here.
yeah, you don't want to give them 1v1s, man. You do not want to give this team 1v1s. Dalba going to go ahead and reposition after the grenades start to come through. Camacho making the push. Victor going to make it with the push with the shoddy. Yeah, this is exactly what Wasaka needed to do. Just send everybody. Dalen will go down, and there you go. Wasaka gets your final victory of the day in a wild and crazy game from the jump.
Yeah, I mean that one. You blink and you miss it, right? That one was even faster than Game 5. Again, teams just looking to go hyper aggro, conclude these hot drops nice and early, but then you know there's all these auxiliary teams almost in those scenarios that want to come third party that. So crazy pace to that one, but Wasaka, I don't even want to say weather the storm, right? They kind of just coasted through that in terms of the fights that presented themselves. Being able to backfill that jump pad rotation was pretty key to their positioning going into the late game as well.
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely huge. And feel a little bit for R15 because they made it first, but then they ended up getting involved in a fight on the edge of lose a couple. But fantastic victory for Wasaka. But again, it's been the Invalidos show all day long. Thank you so much for letting us cast for you. We're going to throw it over the analyst desk to hear what they have to say about this day 1 of Grand Finals.
Well, very much, gentlemen. Great job out there. You are the Invalidos of casting. You did great work. Great work. All right, let's talk about Wasaka. Took that big victory. We'll take a look back at the match and how it played out. But Wasaka, with that backfill, with the late circle, they just played this clean.
Yeah, I mean, learning from your mistakes completely. They had a great first game. They dropped back down into the bottom of these games. They were getting eliminated very quickly, generally, or mid-game, I would say, in all of these games, 2 until 5. But this time, really came into this one, really learned from this, moved into zones perfectly, and they had a brilliant last position. They used that jump pad to get all the way over, away from every other team. They were the only team that was playing this kind of edge tactic as a full team. Apart from, La Bahia and R15, who were kind of low on members. They were doing it more to survive towards the end of the game. These guys took that last position, made sure that they were in a place that was fortified. Nobody could get across that river towards them. Nobody could even touch their position. And luckily, the zone landed directly on top of them. They could just keep them away. I mean, Laonu had no chance of getting over that river. R15 did their best to get over there, and they did in the end, but, I mean, the Horde just descended upon them.
I mean, the reality is that it was the 5th circle. Only one team was able to even step inside of it. There were still more phases to play, but once it was just 2 players from R15, Wasaka said, you know what? Let's wrap it up. Let's call it an early night. By the same token, Invalidos, it seems, up by like 5 games on everyone else, decided maybe they'd make it an early night. 2 kills, and they go out in 8th place. Very unlike them, but again, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're so far ahead. Mathematically, no team could have overtaken them in points overall from this game. So I think they were quite happy to call it a day and go get some food or something like that. But yeah, they'll finish the day well ahead of every other team. But Wasaka has actually, with that, made a very good chunk of that difference up. They're going to be well up into that top 3 for sure. Jonah and Victor getting right up on top of those kills. very well spread across the team, but in the end, that gets the job done. They got all the kills they needed, so 2 of those up there, and there you go. 73 points, so they are well up into there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I think you can add up the points from 8 to 12 and still not have more points than Invalidos has put in today. 6 games, I'm sorry, and they're in a dominant position despite really sort of dropping the ball on the last one. La Bahia, a favorite to potentially win this tournament, finishes the day at 78, and Wasaka and IT Official, 2 teams to come out of the last chance qualifier, put themselves in 3rd and 4th respectively. So a lot of interesting stories developing in terms of Invalidos, a little bit of a change in how they played. It's been effective. But I think in that last match, we saw Invalidos thrive today because they were using the time turner more aggressively and effectively than I think any other team had to this point. But I saw Wasaka doing something similar in the last match. I think we saw IT Official using a similar strategy. So it seems like maybe the other teams are learning from the violent onslaught of Invalidos day one. The question is there enough time to catch up, Twiggy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of really the hallmarks of any great esport, is just this ability to use the meta to your advantage, and the quickest team, the best team, will win, and that's just how that is. Invalidos have really taken advantage of that, and it's really going to be up to, I mean, every team now can go home, they can, go home, they're playing from home. Look at that, Axino 25.
I mean,
that's
screenshot that, right? Screenshot that and send it to your parents. Like, that's of the top 5 killers, 4 go to Axino, or not Axino, 4 go to this team, but Axino with 25, far and away, just destroying the lobby and doing it on the back of teamwork. I mean, at the end of the day, it was Mex pushing, Axino medium range, Silence's long shots were absolutely beautiful to watch, and Jury was working flanks better than anybody I've seen in a long time. Like, their entire team came to play. And as we go through top average placements and everything else, I think we're going to see a lot of Invalidos continuing to be represented. Yeah. Osaka gets first, so that's something.
Yeah, I mean, they have been, I guess, finishing mid-game. I think Invalidos really having that fringe game with the 8th placement there actually dropped them down quite far, down to the 3.67. Yep. Wasaka have been finishing mid-table pretty much the whole time, so actually very good from them to keep that consistency up. And again, I've been talking about it this whole time throughout the last month. This consistency is really key in this kind of a competition, because, if you can't keep up that form, if you burn out on the first day, everybody's going to start to learn from your strats. They're going to start to catch up with you, and it's not going to look great for you towards the end. Bahia, however, will finish the day with the most booyahs, which is absolutely insane considering how many points Invalidos have.
I mean, that is true. We played 6 games. La Bahia has won 2. So they're literally sitting at like 33% win rate and are still struggling to keep up with Invalidos. So, but I think that your point is very valid if they can't keep that pace tomorrow. And you know what? A game like Free Fire often thrives on momentum, and it is possible they come in tomorrow, they try to reprogram, they don't find what they need in terms of their ability to sort of thrive here, and everyone has learned from them. I mean, at the end of the day, anything can really happen as we move to day 2, though I'm going to be honest, the third of the games played at this point, it's not looking particularly good in terms of knocking them off the top, because these guys are still putting up massive points. That's pretty much it for the day, Twiggy. But before we leave, I want to go through some final thoughts, maybe break down mentally how to deal with Invalidos or what we look forward to. I know you're back with the cast tomorrow, so you'll be able to sort of see firsthand in game how Invalidos does. But let's do it. Let's do some final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think every team is going to need to go do is take a look back at, I think it was game 2, game 3, where Invalidos were really making use of that time turner. Really take notes about that, because we were going crazy in the back room just looking at that, watching how they were playing, because I had thought, after this, with the changes, not many teams had kind of learned it, and every team was kind of using it very defensively, very sparingly towards the ends of fights. They really just wanted to try and use it to get reses off, maybe get back. But Club 9D were the first team to use it quite aggressively, positionally, and then Invalidos were the first team to use it completely to isolate fights, to turn fights in their favor immediately, and then push from there. I think that is probably, right now, the best way to play time turners with this new meta, so I think everybody needs to go back, take a look at that, and just see if you can adapt that for your own usage.
Absolutely. Learn and adapt or die. Like that's how you either adapt and thrive or you don't. You know, and we've seen that throughout history. We're seeing it in Free Fire. We're going to see it tomorrow, as this is only the first of 3 days of play. So make sure that you take the time off. You know, we're going to take a break in a second. Go check out the 12 days of Snoopmas. Free Fire is giving away a ton of free stuff. If you just use the hashtag 12 days of Snoop Moss, that's Snoop as in Snoop, and Moss as in, well, Christmas, not bad. Like, this is going to be awesome. So go check it out. It's definitely worth looking at, and you can get some free stuff of your own. Guys, it has been an awesome day. It's been chaotic. It's been faster than I ever expected due to some teams that just went out there and lambasted the field. Tomorrow is sure to be even crazier. But we really appreciate you guys, from myself, from Twiggy, from Poro, Hypoc, and everyone behind the scenes, as well as Free Fire. We know that you could be doing something else on a Friday night, and the fact that you're hanging out here means the world to all of us. Thank you so much. And until we see you tomorrow, play more Free Fire.
Into the circle, you can see they've got a big full pinch going on here, but Axel needs to start putting more pressure. SMG in hand, do the damage onto the blue while trying to take out the hard.
Try and push into the combat, try and rack up a couple more kill points here. Just getting split. 2 different sides.
Blood. Now, Argentine. Oh, Cat, no! Oh, we had him into the face. He drops the time turn and says, I'll bait you to use that, as he's going to...
They don't want this to drag out any longer here.
Thing has been working out so far with a hard push. And look at the grenade from Maxino!
Triple kill. Triple. Triple. Rotate. Shut down.